Man, they were live, and so are we.
Yeah, sure are.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get there.
I'm glad I was watching with people when that happened.
I'm glad I was watching it live. Yeah, me and my
Yeah.
girl were watching on the couch, and our jaws dropped for that whole segment, like start to finish. It was great. So I'm glad I didn't watch it like after the fact on the replay. I didn't just like go to bed. And, I'll watch it in the morning because I would have missed everything, all the discussion.
Right.
Yeah,
That is the worst thing I've heard in the history of saying things.
yeah, I know.
That's what Pat McAfee said.
As Captain America would say, language, Cody, language.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. It is the Lonely Marks. We are here to talk some wrestling, some WWE, some AEW. It's been a good week. I am joined by my fellow Lonely Marks. JPO, we'll start with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing just dandy here, coming off a pretty interesting chamber. About to approach an AEW pay-per-view. What's not to love?
Yeah, I don't think there is such a thing as too much wrestling if you enjoy wrestling. We also have, I believe they just talked about Crimson Tide together. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman.
Yes.
We'll start with Pez. Pez, how are you doing?
Yeah, no, you can go check that out. We had a good discussion with Steven Shepard as well, hanging out with us.
I reviewed Runaway Jury. I did my own tribute.
There you go. You did some Hackman. There you go. Yeah. That's right. I'll watch Get Shorty, which I've never seen for our 95 ladder series. When we get there, I will we'll watch that.
I recommend that.
Call and talk about that. But yeah, no, it's a few little things happened, Jacob, this week. Just a few minor notes and tidbits. Not much really going on. No, I mean for real. I'm talking to my girl. She lives with her brother. And her brother is like not even really a wrestling fan. He used to watch wrestling back in the day, like with her, but he doesn't catch on. And even she just, or him, I don't know, I brought up to her like, hey, did you hear John Cena turned heel? She's like, what? Because it was on like Sports Center. Jon Stewart had a segment on his Daily Show this week where he like used the footage to talk about Trump and Zelensky. Like, this. I mean, it was everywhere, man. Like everybody's talking about this. So it's a once in a generation kind of angle, I would say. I mean, we'll get into it obviously later, but this is a big deal. So yeah, this is a big story.
Yeah, I've been excited to talk about it. Actually, I was like, I wanted to message you guys and be like, should we go live on Monday? I want to talk about it. But
yeah, right.
Speaking of going live on Monday, Richie's also here. Richie, how's it going?
Yeah. Well, that's all I say about me, Mr. Go Live on Mondays. I'm Richie Goodacre. No, going good. Excited to talk about some wrestling with my new pitch meeting shirt. Just got from Red
Super easy, barely an inconvenience, right?
Oh, that's so cool.
Barely an inconvenience. Yeah, I need to watch The Gorge now because he just put up one for The Gorge, and I haven't seen that. So, yeah.
John Cena turning heel was super easy, barely an inconvenience. All he had to do was make a frowny face and kick Cody in the balls. Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Also talk about Travis Scott and him being a fucking idiot.
I got plenty to say on that.
But yeah, fun again. I feel like they talk about this every week, but it's a good time to be a wrestling fan.
Very exciting time to be a wrestling fan.
Yes, we are. I believe 6 weeks away now from WrestleMania. A little bit later in April. Nothing says Easter Sunday like going to church and then watching night 2 of WrestleMania. So that's what we're doing this year. Yeah, we'll kick the show off. We'll talk some fantasy. Missed the update last week. I was out doing comedy. I'm sorry, guys. But last week we saw. I don't have the match results pulled up. I do have the scoring done though. So for week 8, I do have the match cards pulled up for this week. But week 8, JPO saw a pretty big week. Yeah, Liv Morgan was a big point getter for JPO, winning the women's tag team titles in the main event of Raw. So not only did he get that title win bonus as well, so Liv getting 40 points for JPO in week 8. Damian Priest also saw a main event win that week, and he also got wins from Gunther, and then Bianca Belair got the main event bonus for being in the match. So week 8 saw JPO with 90 points. He was the big winner for week 8. Pez, you had Jacob Fatu in I believe in a main event tag match, which he ended up losing, unfortunately. Penta in a triple threat did not get the victory, but he was in the match. Thankfully,
that goddamn Kaiser stole the victory out from under him, with Pete Dunne.
Oh, you mean the guy on my the guy?
Yeah, the guy on Richie's roster.
Yeah,
Kaiser
right.
finally, getting Richie some points. But you did have the New Day were in the match again. Finally,
they got
a tag team for you. Richie, you had LA Knight was in the match, so he got you 5 points, and then Kaiser, he got you the win. So low point totals for the three of us. Pez, you got 25 for week 8. Richie 15 for week 8. I only got 35. I did get a DQ win for Braun Breaker. Lyra Valkyria did retain her title, and then Drew lost to Jimmy, I believe, and then DIY. Whenever they defend the titles on TV, it always ends in a no contest or whatever. So I got points for them being in a match. So cool. I got 35 after week 8. Week 9, like I said, we're going to talk just like we did with the Royal Rumble. I'll cover Raw and SmackDown, but then once we get to the Elimination Chamber, because it just feels weird saying, I know you guys, if you're watching, you know who won. You probably know who won already, but it just feels weird saying the winners and then talking about it later. Oh yeah, and then blah, blah, blah. So it just, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird like that, but Richie started off Friday Night SmackDown pretty great because both of the women that are on his roster were in a match with each other, Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green. So he got points for both of them. Tiffany Stratton did end up getting the victory. And then this was a good night for the two of you that had LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, because they were in 2 matches, and one of them ended up being the main event. Jacob Fatu defeating Andrade, LA Knight defeating Santos Escobar. And then they would later on meet in the triple threat with Carmelo Hayes at the end of the night. So, some good points for those two, for Pez and Richie. Yeah, Richie has LA Knight. And then a cage match has a 6-man tag team match. Even though it was women, Roxanne Perez and the Judgment Day of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeating Bayley, Bianca, and Naomi. Liv Morgan and Bianca both on JPO's roster, so JPO getting some points for them. It was a good 2 weeks for you. I'll reveal the totals later, but you scored pretty good, and I fell off a little bit.
I've been falling off for like 3 weeks, so welcome to the club. So
it was getting lonely at the top, so I decided to fall.
I'm poised, hoping to have a good WrestleMania, though, is where I
think you will.
I think I'm lining up to have a pretty great WrestleMania, so I'm hoping I'll make up some ground there, is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, as far as Raw goes, I was hoping for a big Raw, but unfortunately it did not pan out that way. Gunther defeats Otis, so JPO getting points for Gunther. We had Lyra Valkyria defending again, so that was nice. Yeah, I did get the points for that. The War Raiders They got and the Creeds. I see they put American made. I forgot they were the Creeds. So JPO got even more points now. That's great. I gotta fix that. I did not. Yeah, cool, fantastic JPO. Just what you needed. More points. And then in the main event, and I'm sure we'll get to that after we talk. After we talk Elimination Chamber, because I'm sure it'll go into that. But yeah, Io Sky is your new women's world champion, defeating Rhea Ripley. So at least Rhea got me those main event points, but I was really hoping for that title defense. But it does make the road to WrestleMania a little more interesting. So yeah, that's how it is so far. And yeah, I'll as we talk Elimination Chamber in a little bit,
get the totals and stuff.
Get the totals.
Yeah. All right. So good. Getting caught up on. Yeah. And we got a long road to WrestleMania. So, we'll see what happens on the way. And I think, WrestleMania itself, with the 2-night format could be very heavy for all of us. A lot of our guys, I think our rosters could be involved in those cards, at least, getting points for being just on the card. So, and could get some big wins. So,
yeah, I'm looking at our rosters, and there's maybe, unfortunately, one that I see or two roster members that might not be on the card. But like you said, we still have 6 weeks, and that could very well change.
Yeah, anything could happen. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, I don't know if we have any quick news bits. Most of the news is kind of just coming out of the fallout, from obviously the John Cena stuff in the chamber and whatnot. So I know Richie, you had mentioned Evolve,
there is
right?
one news coming out that just broke today. It looks like the tag team that's being inducted in the Hall of Fame is the Natural Disasters, which is Earthquake,
and not Demolition, which is what we thought it was going to be, maybe.
Earthquake and Typhoon. So
okay, John Cena.
Yeah, I was just going.
It's cool, but I also want Earthquake to get his own individual induction because I think that dude's cool.
I do worry in this case, if they both get in, that Earthquake might not get his alone. I don't know if they would double dip on him. No, I've become a really big Earthquake fan. His Dark Side of the Ring is one of the more uplifting ones, even though he does pass away in his 40s. But it's really a tearful, wonderful episode. And I've also gotten to know Tugboat a little bit. He's been a couple of shows locally, and he's a good dude. So Uncle Fred, as a lot of people call him.
My buddy who I worked with, Jack Manley, who did a loggers tag team with Dag and Briggs down in Florida. He was trained by John Tenta, Earthquake, and
nice.
They actually trained him and said he was a really good dude. And Tenta's a good worker, man. One of those big guys who could move, and he was a good solid worker. So, I mean, that was cool. I mean, Fred Ottman, maybe not the greatest worker overall, maybe more known for the Shockmaster thing, unfortunately, more than anything. But his Tugboat was cool. Yeah, but them as a team, I think, Earthquake and Tugboat was a cool team, for what it was, and a good concept. Again, I was hoping for, since we had heard reports, JPO, they'd sorted out this demolition issue or whatever, that they were going to be the tag team, this year, because a lot of people were waiting for that demolition.
I would imagine next year then, because I don't think they're going to double dip on teams.
No, because they always seem to do one team and then, a couple of single, old lady, a couple singles, whatever, that sort of thing. So, I don't know. I guess not this year, but maybe next year we'll find them.
It usually goes a main guy, woman, the tag team.
There's boxes they want to check off.
Person, and then a deceased person. It seems to be the kind of the.
And the celebrity, whatever their celebrity wing is.
They don't do that every year, but maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's go, Lemmy.
That'd be nice if it was Lemmy or
David Arquette. David Arquette. I mean, seriously, David Arquette. I mean, I could see it. You know what I mean? He was a part of wrestling history. I mean, I could see it.
I would be against it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be all right. So there any big sort of news that I saw other than that sort of was about WrestleMania weekend? But I did. I mean, did you have anything else, JPO, that you were going to talk about?
I got I got just a couple of small things.
Sure.
Congratulations to Emma and Madcap, aka Tanil, and Mike Rawless. They just had their first kid, so that's Madcap Moss, Riddick Moss, and Emma. So congratulations to them. We'll see if they come back to wrestling or not. Greg Miller, you might have seen on Peacock and Bump and whatnot. He's been released from the company. I think all the Bump people are gone now. And I know you wanted to talk a little Evolve. How was Evolve, Rich? It's something I definitely do want to check out.
Yeah, it was good. It was it's basically I feel like it's like NXT for NXT. You know what I mean? Like it's like you got NXT and then you got like the lower one. So it's like if they do good there, then they're NXT. But in saying that, there are people that were on that has been featured on NXT. Like it's a mixture of like people you see on NXT Level Up and occasionally an NXT show and some of the ID guys. So I do have the Captain Cage match up here. So you do have like the first match was like it was 3 matches overall. The first match you had Carly Bright, who has been on the main show a couple of times, but not like used a lot. Carly Bright and Kendall Gray, who looked really good against Denny Palmer and Kaylee Armstrong. A really good match. Kaylee Gray, Kendall Gray and Carly pulling out the win here.
I don't want to. Can you skip winners? I don't want to.
Oh shit, my bad. Well, then that one. Forget I said that one.
You can announce like who's on it. Just don't say who won it.
I just do. I do want to organically watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say who's on it. But yeah, then they had the Keanu Carver and remember when we were a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about all these weird names that WWE had trademarked? Well, you get introduced to True London. There you go. There you go. One of those names was True London, and he's on this card. And then in the main event, you get an ID 6-man showcase, which is Cappuccino Jones, Jack Cartwheel, and Sean Legacy taking on a faction they called Swipe Right, which is Jackson Drake, Brad Baylor, and Ricky Smokes. It's a good show, good presentation. The commentators are Pete Rosenberg and Robert Stone. From Robbie E.
Robbie E. Okay.
Robbie E. I don't know if they're actually like they're there or they just do it in post because you don't actually like see them.
It's probably post production.
They did the same thing if you watch LFG. You never see Borash and Vic. Yeah. They do it in post. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I found that you do see Pete Rosenberg at one point because there is a segment where I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the dudes from the family is like just chilling at ringside, and with it's Gal, the dude from ID, the ID program. And he goes to interview one of them. It'll be a cool show. I think it's for management to ascertain whether who's NXT ready or even main roster ready, and who do we release, basically. You know what I mean? Like who's like who's like who kind of like I don't know who doesn't really have it, or who does sort of have it, and then and to just put them back, just to put them on NXT. But I think the roster will kind of get bloated. So I think it's a good idea for a show, and they've had this Evolve name for a while because they bought out Evolve a while ago. So it's cool. It's only I wish it was longer, but it's like only like an hour. But it's a cool show, cool breezy. I think Ava's sort of running it. Shawn Michaels was making the matches this time around, but he said that Ava, which he called the mayor, would be running it more often. I think Kylie Ray's going to be on the show soon with the former AEW Impact NWA, and guy named Harlem Lewis will be on the show as well. So yeah, it's an interesting show. It's good.
Yeah. All right. On Tubi.
Yeah. It does look like too. Finally, we're gonna have the first ever, second ever, maybe all women's Evolution pay-per-view again. Remember we had that back in 2018. there's finally talks that they're going to go back and do a second one. So only took you all these years.
Yeah, which is probably a good thing, just because I thought that they only did the first one because, like, you know, I feel like they only did the first one because they had Ronda and you know, like the Bellas for a while, and then like it sort of proved me right when they refused to do another one, and so I'm glad that they feel like they've got enough like women on there, you know, they've got enough faith in women to do a pay-per-view, because yeah, it should have been I don't know. I just feel like it should have been an annual thing. But yeah.
Well, I think if they do that, JPO, they should do a mix of the main roster and the NXT one, because the NXT has a pretty strong women's roster. You know what I mean? I would hope they would show.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's pretty damn stacked, and you know, and nowadays we do these pretty short pay-per-views. You can easily get 5, 6, 7 matches between NXT, maybe a return. You know, if you throw in like a Lita or something, you know, or a Bella, and then who they have on Raw and SmackDown. Absolutely. Now it's very easy to do. There's to a degree, I always thought it was kind of weird they never did one, because again, find a slightly smaller arena. You have Peacock, you have YouTube, like. You have all these outlets to do it, you know, so.
Yeah, do it. Sure.
Yeah. Was another thing, but I can't remember right now, so I don't know. If I can think of it, I don't know. Was it, I don't know, something to do with events coming up, but I can't recall right now, so.
That probably wasn't that big of a deal then. So, all right. Well, let's get to the main meat and potatoes of the episode here. Let's talk about the Elimination Chamber and all the shenanigans that happened during the event, and a little bit of the fallout, you know, on Raw and whatnot. So let's get into it. We were at the former Sky Dome in Toronto, which is probably most famous for Rock Hogan WrestleMania 18, if you recall. Same venue there. So. We're in there, and we kicked off the show with the Women's Elimination Chamber. Bianca Belair goes on to win that one, we started out really hot. Something that we had kind of speculated may or may not have happened. The match did officially start. I will say that. So my prediction, or one of them, or if you predicted Naomi as one of the first two, that technically was true. The bell rang before she was taken out. So
no, I agree with that. Even when I wrote my results, like I put and Naomi,
no, they rang the bell. They went to lock up, and then the music hit. Jade Cargill makes her return, and I wrote, "God damn it, finally," because she's on my roster. So she's finally back. So hopefully she will be, on the road to WrestleMania here. Comes in, acts like she's going to go after Liv, but makes a beeline for Naomi. Beats the ever-loving shit out of Naomi. It was a hell of a proper beatdown. I think one of the best aspects of this, though, was Bianca Belair locked in her pod, screaming and hollering and trying to get out, but just trapped in this pod and wailing, and just she did a great job kind of selling that she was kind of helpless to help Naomi. But Jade takes her out of the match, slams the door kind of on her head, and takes her out. They stretch her out. Liv Morgan's, of course, very happy about this. A good solid chamber overall. I think it's a good storytelling. You had Roxanne and Bayley going at it pretty hard, in the middle of the match, really beating the hell out of each other there. Bianca, running wild. Liv Morgan looked great in this match. I thought she had a hell of a performance once again. It came down to her and Bianca at the end with some nice back and forths, some back and forth kind of reversals and counters and finishers there. Yeah,
that whip. Oh God.
Oh yeah, no, the hair whip, which she doesn't whip out all the time, but God damn it, when she does, man, what a gunshot, man. Yeah, I think
Liv took the Instagram on Glitter and was like, fake, and like showed all those.
Jacob, would you post that in our group? All the bruises and the lash that she had on her midsection was brutal. Worse than any kind of strap match. My God, what a shot. She took a hell of a beating in this match, but Bianca Belair overcomes her distraught nature, and then the only thing I was surprised about is she wins and takes her time getting back to the back to maybe check on her friend. Who she was so concerned about that she didn't immediately, run out of the chamber to go check on her, after the match. She took her time to get back up the ramp and posing with, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky up on the rampway. But regardless of that, Bianca Belair takes the chamber match. So yeah, we'll go around the horn. Jacob, what do you think of the? Oh, sorry, good. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say also. Look, I always kind of thought it was weird too. Like, okay, if Jade knows that Naomi attacked her, wouldn't she like call Bianca at some point and be like, "Hey, by the way, she's an evil bitch"? I thought it was weird that she never told.
Well, I imagine we'll get the fallout on the upcoming SmackDowns of what she knows and doesn't know, and
well, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward that it was Naomi, and I'm.
I don't feel like it's. I see. We've had this conversation off here. I feel like it's. Yeah, I think it was. I know she's involved in something else now, but I think it will come to pass that. Yeah, it wasn't just Naomi. There you go. That's probably.
Or it wasn't Naomi at all, and Jade was just pissed that she lost the title for her.
That makes even less sense.
She just wanted some time off. Like it was an Eddie Thorpe situation. She's like, I'm gonna take myself out. I need a few months off. They'll be fine. But by the time I'm ready to come back, we'll still have the titles. Oh wait, you lost them, you bitch.
Is it gonna be like do you remember when was it Triple H and Shawn Michaels, or somebody put Shawn Michaels' head through like a car window and it was all bloody, and then there was like the footage where it was all blurry, and then they like opened the footage and Triple H was standing there doing his pose in front of the camera, and like you saw like his shirt, and you're like, oh my god, it was sure, but he nicely posed with his shirt on for the camera, with his logo.
And I think they did a similar thing when Cass attacked Enzo. Yeah.
So I wonder if it'll be some situation like that where we'll get some footage that Jade found that nobody else has seen yet, or something, some kind of piece of evidence. But we'll see what the fallout is from that. On we haven't gotten to SmackDown yet, so we'll be hearing from Cody as well. But Jacob, what do you think about this opener, this women's elimination chamber?
No, I thought it was really good. Yeah, I thought it was a decent match. Yeah, I didn't expect Jade to return at the beginning, but yeah, no, I think it was a great way to open. Yeah, Jade looked fierce. She looked mad. I think she's looking good. So yeah, I am curious to see what the fallout is from that. If Bianca, how Bianca's involved. Because yeah, she did seem very unmoved afterwards. She's like all playing it up for the camera, as it was happening. But yeah, and it was like, oh, I'm gonna go win the match, and then I'm gonna do an interview on the post show with the panel. Yeah, I don't need to check on Naomi. I've got other things now. I did think that was a little weird, like if they were supposed to be friends.
That could play into something. I mean, who knows? Maybe she doesn't really care about Naomi that much. Maybe she played it up, while she was out there. But it's not that concerned that Naomi got taken out. Who knows? There could be a reason for it. We'll see.
Yeah, I like the kind of continuation of Roxanne and Bayley. I didn't like Bayley being eliminated first because I did pick her to win. But if this leads to like a Roxanne Bayley thing at WrestleMania, or maybe even Stand and Deliver, I don't know how much Roxanne's going to be still be involved in NXT. It seems like maybe she's a main roster member now.
This is a good time to remember, because I just remembered what I forgot about. I think that they're going to do another draft again. They announced, which also it feels weird because they just did those
that transfer window thing. They just did that.
And they're still going to do a draft on top of that. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, anyway,
although maybe the draft will be more undercard people, maybe instead of like the bigger stars. I mean,
I think there's going to be a couple of NXT call-ups, and maybe Roxanne gets.
For God's sakes, can we finally get Trick Williams on the main card? My God. And I'm sure, Richie, you're hoping for Fraxium to get drafted, somewhere.
Yeah, otherwise, if they're not drafted, I have to drop them. I have to.
I know. I'm waiting. I guess maybe I'll hang on a trick till at least after the draft, because I mean I'm sure like once he's on a roster he's going to rack up some wins. So I'll wait for that. But yeah, my God, we're just sitting here waiting.
Yeah, when I mentioned there might be 2 members on our rosters that weren't going to be at WrestleMania, those were the 2 I was.
I know. Yeah,
I
that's the only thing I'm worried about.
about.
Trick, unless he gets like thrown into some, if there's some kind of schmaz for the Intercontinental title, or who knows, if he gets called up for something, who knows, he could. I mean, it's possible he could show up on one of the Raws or SmackDowns, upcoming Sunday. He could. You never know. We'll see what happens. But Richie, yeah, your thoughts on the women's chamber here?
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I'm with Barber. I was annoyed that Bailey got on there first because I'd had her winning. I was like, first, okay. But yeah, I'm sort of Bailey's become. I mean, Bianca's kind of like Charlotte in a way where they really like her, so she's always gonna. There's always a good chance she's gonna win. I'm kind of hoping she turns heel soon because she's very stale. Like she's obviously very good in the ring, but I am sort of getting very bored by her character.
I think she's going to be a heel very, very soon. It seems like
I do too, but I hope.
You just couldn't do 2 in one night.
Yeah. I mean, Naomi probably Wednesday Warfare. I don't know if there's been someone who has turned heel by way of getting their ass kicked, but that was fine. So there was 2 heel turns technically. I think Naomi turned heel because she I'm guessing she helped attack.
I'm not calling it yet because there could very well be Bianca setting her up. So I'm not ready to call it yet.
Yeah, it could be a frame job where Bianca's the real framed her to look like she did it, but and that's how the heel turn happens. Is Bianca's actually the one who orchestrated it, but maybe not firsthand or something. There's a way you could do it.
Well, if it turns out Naomi wasn't on it, it's the first heel turn. She got turned heel by way of getting her ass kicked, and even the crowd acts like it was a heel turn because they try to no, goodbye.
I saw in some wrestling groups people were saying Jay turned heel, and I'm like, no, you don't turn heel by attacking your attacker. That's not a heel turn. That's just called revenge.
Why would you turn heel by getting revenge? But yeah, the match.
Well, also, crowds really like when a big, strong, scary person beats up somebody. It's very fun to watch. They tend to cheer that.
Yes. But yeah, so the match itself was really good. Yeah, Roxanne looked good. I think Liv Morgan has continued to improve. It's kind of insane that this is the same Liv Morgan that was like, in Riot Squad. So yeah, she's definitely proven to be quite a good worker. Held her own, and I can see why she. I think at one point, I don't know when it'll be no time soon, but she's like always she's always that one person at the end of the Royal Rumbles. At one point, Liv Morgan will win the Rumble. So, and at one point, she probably will win the Elimination Chamber. So,
I think she's going to be the Kane of Royal Rumble. She's going to be that really good bright spot, but just never quite get over the hump. Unfortunately, that's what I see for Liv in the Rumble because she's really good in them.
Yeah. So it was a solid opener.
Yeah, JPO, your thoughts on the opening chamber here?
I mean, even for me, more than solid, this was a really good way to start the show. I'd have to really do a deep dive, but maybe one of my favorite women's chambers. I thought it worked out really well. I dug it.
No, there were 2 very good, I think this one was more of the workhorse chamber. I mean, the men worked very hard too, but I think they both had really good stories within them. I think more so the men's had was more story based, I think, than necessarily work based. But man, these women beat the hell out of each other in that chamber. It was very intense.
They worked
their asses off. Yeah, no, it was very, very good, very entertaining. Good solid way to open the show. The Jade stuff got everybody going. Good, good way to kick it, get everybody riled up and ready to roll. So good start to the chamber overall. We kind of got we stayed with the women for our second match, which was a little surprising, maybe not so given the lineup of what the matches were, but I think we were a little, even my girl were like, oh, okay, the women are going again, okay, that's fine. But maybe probably the most, I think read the most forgettable match of the show. Not necessarily horrible, but the one that got kind of lost in the shuffle at the end of the night. But we did have Trish Stratus, the hometown hero, Trish and Tiffy time here, defeating Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I think one of those surprising things is that Nia Jax is the one who took the pin. I mean, you have Candice right there. That's odd. You have a perfectly good Candice LeRae right there to take the fall, and she didn't, which is a little strange. But yeah, I mean, I think the crowd was, lukewarm for this. I think maybe not as hot as I anticipated them being for Trish. And Tiffany. I mean, everybody worked very hard. I think it went on a little long. There was like 3 different hot tag spots, 3 different heats. It just kind of kept going back to the same thing. I don't know if they were stretching for time or what it was. But I mean, not bad overall, but not great either. It was just kind of there and a way to get the people on the thing. But Richie, what do you think of this one overall?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty good. I don't mind that Tiffany got the pin on Nia. I think you need to make her look strong going into WrestleMania, and that's the best way to make her look strong is to pin the sort of the one that in the group that's sort of getting the bigger push, which is Nia. So yeah. In Vince's world, or even Steven booking, that would probably mean, well, obviously she's losing at Mania with Charlotte, but hopefully that doesn't mean that necessarily. But I thought this match was pretty good, well worked. I mean, there was a couple of like missed spots here and there, but didn't like drag out the match that much. Maybe like in terms of like if you compare it to the other matches of the card, pretty like forgettable, but I still think that just sort of goes to prove how strong the rest of the card was, and because I still think it's a pretty solid match. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, JPO, well, kind of there, but any thoughts on this one, this tag match?
No, very similar thoughts. And also too, I think because I don't know, I don't know if I'm totally sold on where Tiffany's going. We're kind of past the Nia feud. It's like the kind of like an addendum almost to that chapter. So I also feel like I just wasn't that super invested either. It's cool to see Trish again. It was definitely a hometown addition because of where they were. So yeah, this was fine. I mean, it's a good enough mid card match. But yeah, this is easily kind of the. I mean, there's only 4, so it's not that bad of a diss. But the low point on the card, which is a compliment because it's still not that bad.
Yeah, no, it was still watchable. Jacob,
what's your
thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I thought it was decent. I definitely think it's PLE worthy because you do have Trish involved there. I do think I liked Nia Jax taking the pin because for me it kind of like says that hey, we're done with this feud and now Tiffany and Charlotte, that's the focus going into Mania, and I would rather Nia Jax not be involved, and maybe Nia and Candice can focus on maybe the tag titles or something. Maybe there's a multi-woman team match or something at Mania for those. So yeah, it's nice seeing Trish, in our hometown. It was decent. I get why it was next to why the women kind of opened the show. You always bookend with the chambers, and then if you've only got 2 matches, you're not gonna. I don't think you follow a chamber match with an unsanctioned match.
Maybe the women to follow the unsanctioned match.
Yeah, I do get the placement. I do wish maybe there were more matches. Because it did seem like we were, I think, between the unsanctioned and chamber, the men's chamber, did seem like there was a lot of time, so you could have maybe added like another 10-minute match in there or something. But this was decent. I enjoyed it, but it definitely is the low point on the card. But that's not a knock on the match because it was a really solid show from start to finish.
Yeah. We ratcheted things up. Well, actually, we just got to our main event because John Cena wins. There was something in between. Not officially, I guess on the books, but an unsanctioned match here. Kevin Owens defeating Sami Zayn. They did some things with this match that kind of turned down the lights. It wasn't like billed as a lights out match, but they kind of turned down the lights a little bit. Turned up the spotlights. They switched out the turnbuckle pads that didn't have logos on them. They had the referee had like just kind of a plain black shirt, not necessarily like a referee shirt. I mean, really, if this was truly unsanctioned, they wouldn't have got music with entrances. They would just come out. So there's a few minor nitpicks as far as that goes. They would just walk out.
I did like how, like, Sami Zayn came out in street gear, then Kevin Owens just came out in his gear.
Well, I think his gear is just still just like his tank top, or his t-shirts, with his trunks. So it's not like it's that different.
It's just, but like his street gear is just his gear.
I'm more miffed by what Randy Orton was wearing when he wasn't in a match, but we'll get to that. This is one of my pet peeves. We'll talk about it. But yeah, so they have this unsanctioned match, no rules here. I mean, they kind of started out as like just your standard brawl. Got some chairs. They brawled up the aisles. We got 2 back-to-back table spots. They were kind of 2, concession tables, back-to-back with the Blue Thunder Bombs. That was fun. Got the crowd involved. Made their way back. Yeah, we had some more chair spots where some nasty like fisherman busters through open chairs, and they brought in a barbed wire chair that
which
Kevin Owens
wasn't shaved down, by the way. That was legit. Apparently, that was legit. They went for it.
Yeah, we got, but no blood. I was surprised we had no blood because I saw the referee actually had the gloves on before the match even started, so I was kind of anticipating a little bit. But I guess there was a reason for that we'll get to, with Cody later. But yeah, some big spots. We got the double table spot, kind of stacked up ECW style in the corner that Sammy went through both of those. I mean, but again, lots of chairs and tables. And the match kind of ended with Kevin Owens hitting like a double, the power bombs on the side of the apron, kind of like he did way back in NXT, when he first turned on Sammy. So we had kind of a call back to that. So he gets the win there, and he's gonna continue to put a beating on there. Petey Williams is out there, right? Like couple spotted a couple people.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. Petey was out there. A couple people, you might recognize, tooling around there, and we got the return of Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes out in his ring gear, which was weird. If you're just running in to beat up Kevin Owens, I don't understand. You don't have a match. Why are you wearing your trunks?
He wears it to the gym. I don't know.
Yeah, that always bugs me. It's like, you're not scheduled for a match. Why don't you just run out and I don't get that. I strapped on my boots and put on my trunks.
I said the same thing live. Did I not say that, Jacob? I said this dude always full gear. He did that in Evolution once on Raw. Everyone else was suited and like normal clothes, and there was Orton in gear, and I don't think he even wrestled that night.
Yeah, it's just always weird when you're not scheduled for a match and you're just wearing your gear. I don't know. I've always thought that was weird. But anyways, he comes back
that night, JPO.
Yeah. A dark match or some post-show match, maybe. Yeah, who knows? Just one for the crowd. But yeah, he comes in, RKO's Kevin Owens. He went for the punt kick, which I think somebody said the last time they hit it was like 5 years ago, like in 2020 or something. So it's been a while since he's hit the punt. Doesn't quite get it. He gets run through by security, and they break up everything. But I imagine we might see that at WrestleMania, when I'm sure that the matches they'll be squaring off here very soon. But yeah, Randy Orton looking for revenge against the guy who put him out for the neck injury. So yeah, a really, really good match. These guys always throw down. I mean, when has there been a bad Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match? One quick note: Michael Cole even referenced El Generico. I was like, that was random, but surprised. I was weird. Like, all right. He's like, I seem to recall El Generico versus Kevin Steen in like a death match in Canada or something like that. I was like, wow, that's maybe the first time they referenced El Generico.
El Generico has to do with this, though.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy has to do with it. I mean, maybe Kevin Steen, I get, but I don't know about this other guy. Maybe he's just talking about Kevin Steen's experience and
maybe that could be.
Yeah, it could be. But yeah, I mean, so we get, a really good match, but then also a really good, obviously return and a progression with the storyline. But JPO, will go to you first. This unsanctioned match. It didn't officially happen, but, what would you think of this one?
Unsanctioned, but we're still going to film it, use our cameras, advertise it, make a match graphic, lend you a referee. I think they're still international. I think they still make international Blu-rays. Probably put it on Blu-ray, all that stuff. Though
Walmart still puts out DVDs. I think.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I swear to God, I went to Walmart like maybe 2 months ago, and they had like the War Games Survivor Series on DVD.
They stopped. Well, that's not new. No, I guess that's newish. I know they stopped doing like originals like a long time ago.
There's no the individual.
I want to say Drew McIntyre had the final one because I remember buying it just for that. Just for that reason. No, this was great. I mean, these two. I mean, come on, I've been watching these two team/feud, back in Ring of Honor. So yeah, I've been a fan of these guys for a long time. I might meet Kevin, my cousin. He's at Spookula convention along with some David S. Malchin and with the entire Daredevil cast. So I'm going to see if I can get him to do a video of saying "What's up, cousin," so I can convince my niece some more. So I can't make it to Christmas. I'm gonna try next year. See if he'll do it. And but yeah, no, this is great. I love these two. At first I was wondering where they're gonna go. Now I still wonder what Sam was gonna do at Mania, unless he's on the shelf now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I mean, he's had interactions with Karrion Kross, but I don't know if that's going to go anywhere. Yeah, I don't know if that's a Mania match.
AJ Styles is also teasing that too. I
don't know what's going on. Yeah, we'll see where Sammy ends up because he could be. Maybe they just play that he's on the shelf for a little while. Maybe give him a little vacation, a little break. Who knows? I mean, the guy deserves it. If he wants to take some time off, the guy sort of deserves it.
Multi-man match, who knows? We'll see. We still got time, but I'm guessing, obviously Owens and Randy will be, that match.
Yeah, no, that match is probably pretty for sure going to happen on Mania. But Mr. Barber, what'd you think of this unsanctioned war here?
Oh yeah, I thought it was great. I loved it from start to finish. At what point do we start calling this, like, at least from an in-ring standpoint, like the greatest rivalry in professional wrestling history? I think it's got to be discussed at least. It deserves to be in the conversation because these two, like you said, when's the last time they put on a bad match? Well, they've never put on a bad match. So
I mean, JPO would probably take how many pages on Cage Match do these guys have against each other? Just a dozen.
It was tough with tags and three ways and house shows. These two would tag together on house shows. I don't know, maybe their first match in Canada back in 2001 probably wasn't.
that one, but no, this was great.
Probably only 2 stars.
The return of Randy Orton. I kind of, once Kevin moved back to the ring and was starting to rip up the mat, I was like, all right, he's coming back. It's weird that he came out in his gear. Maybe he, his pants were fitting a little tight, and he was like, "Oh, I better put on my gear instead. I'm gonna go beat Kevin's ass." The only problem I have is all like the producers and security rushing in to stop him from doing the punt. Why have they never done that? Whenever somebody's attacking somebody, like they couldn't, go in when Bronson Reed was doing 6 tsunamis on Seth and pull Seth out of the way. They couldn't do that for Seth. Like that bothered me. Like, oh, now you're going to stop him?
Actually,
if he did anything else, that would have been fine. But
that didn't bother me as much as the people trying to stop Kevin from doing stuff to Sammy during the match. Isn't this supposed to be unsanctioned? Haven't you absolved yourself of any?
Right,
responsibility for it. So it's not like even if he, breaks the guy's bones, breaks his back. Again, you don't have any kind of legal liability even in storyline. So why are you like telling him not to do this, that, and the other from ringside? I don't understand that involvement per se. Like, again, this is unsanctioned. So why are you out there? I don't know.
Like, didn't Adam Cole get DQ'd on Chris Jericho or something when it was non-sanctioned? Or something.
Or was like the referee like stop the match or something like that, which I don't. It's weird. Yeah.
That just seemed a little, like they rushed the ring when he's going to punt him in the head. Like that. Okay. There's been worse stuff done, and you've never done that. So it just seemed odd. But no, I think, the return of Randy Orton, I enjoy it. I did previously dropped him for Rey Mysterio, who has only wrestled once since I picked him up after wrestling every week.
You picked him up too late because he was wrestling like every other week before that.
He's next week though.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, he's in a tag team match next week. So
they're stacking that show, by the way.
That Madison Square Garden show, it's pretty stacked. Yeah, for what it is.
Yeah. Pretty big match, which I'm sure we'll get to when we talk about the men's chamber. But no, I really enjoyed this. This is the one where I'm like, we've seen this before, but I don't care. I don't care if we've seen this before or how many times we've seen this before, because these two just know each other so well and work together so well.
I don't even think it's the last time they'll get in the ring before they retire. Like, I think they'll still
no.
have another match down the line. You know what I mean? Like, at some point.
I
Like,
think they retire together, and their last match is against each other.
It might be that case because they've both been wrestled. They're both in their mid-40s now. They have to be, right? Like,
I think so,
I think they're late 30s.
Are they really? I could have sworn they were both in their 40s by now, but I think
they got to be close if they're not.
Kevin Owens is 39, and I think
Kevin Owens just he's 40.
Sammy is 40 right now,
and I think Kevin Owens is 40.
He's
Kevin
40.
Owens is also 40, so they're the same age.
41,
so
yeah.
I mean, well, realistically, Randy Orton's 45 or so. I mean, you can still keep wrestling. There are guys who are in their mid-40s still working. AJ's like 45, still working.
LA Knight's 42.
Yeah, so I mean, there are guys that can still work into their 40s, obviously. So maybe they'll still get. I mean, who knows? I just don't know how their bodies are holding up. They have done a lot of crazy things in their career. So how are they holding up now?
That match doesn't help.
yeah, no, it certainly doesn't help you taking bumps like that. But I could still see wrestling maybe at least another 2 years or something like that. I could see them retiring at some point for sure. I think we get. I mean, not to predict an early Royal Rumble. I think we get Sammy winning the Royal Rumble in Saudi next year, so you might get that before he retires. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he gets a world title run at some point. We'll see. So maybe Kevin Owens even gets one more before he retires. I can see that as well at some point.
I think the reason one or the other haven't left to go to AEW is because they want to be, part of the reason is probably because they want to be in the same promotion again.
I don't see why they would leave when they're both getting booked still very prominently, on these cards. I mean, they're still having big feuds and being featured quite for a while. They don't have any reason to leave for AEW, I mean, why? So, I mean, it is what it is. But Richie, your overall thoughts on the match here?
Yeah, this was insane, but really good. Also got to shout out Michael Cole. He was really good in this match. Drum out the emotion. Also, Pat McAfee had a really good line when I think Kevin Owens hit him with like a trash can or something. No, Sami Zayn hit Kevin Owens with a trash can, and Pat McAfee goes, "He just hit him with Dominic Mysterio." and even Wade Barrett had to go, "I don't know that. That was really funny." This match was insane, but really really good. Hopefully, I do want to see Kevin Owens hold a singles title soon. Just give him the world title for some run, decent run here. So I don't know. Hopefully, he does get it at some point.
I mean, he could get. He's one of those guys that could get drafted to Raw, and I could see him getting a run with the World Heavyweight title, maybe more so than the WWE title. I could see that. Yeah.
Feud with. I'm assuming. I don't want if Jey Uso beats Gunther, I don't want Gunther to be lost in all of a sudden lost in a shuffle. But I could see him definitely if he's get drafted for all that feud with Jey Uso or something. So but this match was really good. But it wasn't a match. It never happened. It wasn't. It wasn't promoted. This is disgusting behavior, and it was really good.
Yeah, for sure. So we got to our official main event of the evening. I think we even, talked about it in our thing. We were like, man, here comes the Chamber, and we haven't gotten the Rock and Cody yet. So, maybe something big's going to happen, right? Because we hadn't seen them yet, before the thing. So we figured something big was going to happen. We wouldn't know yet, but we would find out. But yes, John Cena wins the men's Elimination Chamber, as I and only I predicted. So, kudos to me. So John Cena wins. You guys all had Punk. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it came down to Cena and Punk, as we kind of all thought it would. We all thought it would come down to Cena and Punk.
It was not an easy choice between the two. It was
and I came very close to picking Punk, but I had a storyline in my head, and we kind of got sort of that storyline, just in a backwards kind of way. We'll talk about it. Half of it. But yeah, so again, was a good solid chamber in like the work rate and whatnot, but I think the more important was like the stories that were told within the chamber. I think were really well done, the way it was actually booked, a lot of the big moments and whatnot, because you had they had the Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre stuff, which I think is going to lead to WrestleMania match that Damian has eliminated Drew from the Rumble. He's eliminated from the chamber. He's really kind of got his number right now, so I'm sure we will see some kind of resolution to that very soon. You had Logan Paul just kind of being the other guy that nobody likes, in the chamber that everybody's going after and beating the shit up. But he did get an elimination. He eliminated Damian not too long after that. Had that big frog splash off the pod, which looked pretty good. Looked really solid. I loved watching CM Punk throughout this match. Just laughing and clapping anytime Seth or Drew or whoever was just getting beat up and encouraging it. I think what Drew or Seth, one of the two, was getting slammed up against his pod over and over again. He's just like, yeah, give it,
do it harder,
harder. Yeah, it was very, very fun.
And at one point, I think hit the light spot in his pod, so he's trying to fix it.
Yeah, the fluorescent light tube came down from the top, and he was fixing that.
Yeah, I saw some videos from fans who were sitting close to him, and anytime he was trying to fix it, they were chanting for him and cheering for him.
Yeah, no, hey, what a good guy. Just trying to do some maintenance while he's in there. Not bad. But yeah, he was fun to watch. Watching him as Seth came out. Once again, just seeing how ridiculous he looked, like a damn starfish or whatever.
He looked like an idiot. He is officially a heel now, right? Is he a heel?
I don't know, but yeah, I love not going back to the.
He will be after next week for sure.
The SmackDown before the chamber, Punk was spot on when he looked like an oven mitt on SmackDown. That was amazing. I literally have an oven mitt that looks exactly like Seth Rollins did. A red oven mitt. I swear to God, I can bring it and look. He looks exactly like one. So that and their interactions were fun. Having I like that. The beginning of this, everybody has an issue with somebody, which I think was fun in this chamber. Everybody has a history with somebody, in the chamber, all over the place. And then you have John Cena, this old timer, in there. When we finally got the Punk Cena face off, the crowd, chanted "Holy shit!" It was definitely like a nice throwback of like, oh man, hey, remember these guys are Money in the Bank, and had an amazing match. So they still had that magic, the back and forth that they had. They had some good sequences. But then we actually got again these progression of these storylines and what we've been talking about and what the guys have been talking about promos, because Seth gets eliminated, but before he leaves the chamber, Cena and Punk are going back and forth. He curb stomps Punk on the outside, his head into the thing, and then John Cena is able to choke him out, but not he didn't tap out. He just passed out. Referee call for the match, but as Seth Rollins has said in his promos, win or lose, whatever, you're not going to WrestleMania, Punk. I will squash your dreams. I'll die before you you go to WrestleMania, and I will squash your dreams no matter what. And we got a progression of that. That's kind of what he at least tried to do, even though he was eliminated. So that was good stuff there. But yeah, Cena getting the actual victory. Punk, gets his desperation, as we saw on Raw. For anybody who saw the Raw promo, that was fire. That Raw promo was amazing. Yeah, just comes out, no nonsense. He's all business. He jumps on the table and he, fires on all cylinders and everybody. Yeah, that was really great. But yeah.
Who do you want me to talk about? Rock?
Yeah, you bald fraud. He called them both bald bastards, just going in on them, going in on Rollins. Yeah, that was really great. But yeah, John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber, and it looks like he is going to make his dreams of becoming 17, come to fruition. So obviously we'll talk about the aftermath here in a minute of what then happened afterwards. But let's talk about the actual match first, and then we'll get to the aftermath. Jacob, back around to you, man. What do you think about this whole chamber?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I was kind of hoping we'd start with Punk and Rollins. I thought kind of would have been a hot way to start. And not only because I predicted those two to start, that's what I wanted to see. I thought it would have been great, and since I did predict Punk, have him go the distance and have him really earn it, and I think that could have been a good part of the storyline going into WrestleMania. But Seth Drew reigniting that I thought was really good. Yeah, the progression of Drew and Damian. Logan, well, he didn't feel like he did much. I think he did enough. I'm unsure what his Mania match is going to be, because he's going to be on the card. He's AJ. don't know. I kind of like the chamber. Like let's progress storylines, and AJ didn't interfere. Nobody interfered from the outside this time, like the last 2 years, and I was very upset about that. We broke tradition. We started a tradition 2 years ago, and it's been broken already.
But we did, but we did have a couple people, hitting people after they were eliminated.
That's
Drew
true.
did that.
And I guess you didn't have an
Seth
interference
does
in the
that.
women's.
No.
So
yeah. No, I think your interference spot was Jade because technically she
Yeah.
interfered during the match because the bell rang and then she interfered.
yeah.
So that was your interference spot.
Back that real quick. It's weird that like they ring the bell before the doors even close. Like, okay, like come on, get your shit together, officials.
Yeah.
No, I really like the dynamic between Cena, Punk, and Rollins. I thought they all worked together. Yeah, if Seth isn't a full blown heel, he will be, I think, after next week's match. Which I'm sure we'll talk about in a moment. Yeah, I'm not mad at Cena winning, especially with the aftermath, which we'll talk about in a minute. Also, I'm ready to see Punk main event WrestleMania. I think he's earned it. I think he deserves it, and I think it would be a cool moment. Because I think I've really enjoyed his run since he returned to WWE. Even when he was injured, I think he is still one of the better parts of the show. He's just been so entertaining. And yeah, man, he was fired up in that promo.
That promo was awesome. No, I just loved it. Like it was just he rolls up in the truck, he gets out of the truck, he's all proud. He's no nonsense. He comes out, he doesn't do the it's clobbering time, nothing like that. He just makes a beeline right for the mic, and the thing. He cuts his promo. Seth comes out and he doesn't bullshit with that either. He sees, Seth's music hits. He comes out, nope, drops the mic, runs right to him. They start a brawl. You know what I mean? Like it's no bullshit, which I liked, a lot. It was just like he was pissed off, and you felt that, and he was desperate. I like that it matched the character, what he was going through. It worked.
They were like Peter Griffin and the Chicken and Family Guy. They just kept
fighting and fighting. No, I mean, how many times have we seen a pull apart brawl, but this one gets a "This is awesome" chant? Like, how many times does that happen? For like how many times we've seen a million pull apart brawls? You know what I mean? Just like that. But yeah, one of the better ones I've ever seen. It's pretty great. Yeah, you felt the intensity. It was good.
On the international broadcast, we just see the stuff that like the crowd sees in the ad break, and like Seth Rollins broke away from security there, and then they fucking
just kept going back and forth. Yeah, no, it's fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm sorry, Jay. I could have keep going. Yeah.
No, I didn't really have much else to add. Like, yeah, most of the rest of my thoughts are with the aftermatch which we'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, no, like I said, it came down to Punk and Cena for me as far as predictions. I'm not mad that I got it wrong. I'm a little upset that I didn't get the point, but no, I'm especially now looking forward to the next 6 weeks and the lead up to the title match at Mania.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, no, I thought this match was really, really good. A lot of stories move forward here. Like with Drew and Priest, I know, like initially, reportedly Drew wasn't, kind of the most impressed by having Priest because they thought they'd been there, done that kind of thing. But I think the way they tell the story is kind of, a bit more intriguing. I
think they're gonna beat the hell out of each other. That's a big, mean, scary guy match. It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good match. And then I like Logan didn't do much, but even his elimination, he was just picking up scraps because Drew attacked. So I think it suits his character. It was cool that a lot of storylines got progressed, and I like the how like Cena and Punk in double team they did the heart attack. That was kind of cool. I was like, what made me think that was what made me think that Seth is a heel because you don't usually double team a baby face, but I guess he's just the lesser baby face of the three at the time. But the match stuff was really good in terms of story progression, and not like any highlights as far as like cool moves or anything, but it was still sometimes you don't need that. It was just a really but it was a really solid match.
Well, you didn't need it. You had the star power and the storylines. You know what I mean? That was what the match was more about than, and I wouldn't expect any of these guys to do any crazy things where they're going to hurt themselves, 7 weeks before WrestleMania. You know what I mean? They really want to get to WrestleMania. So I don't expect Seth or CM Punk to be doing any edges off a cage next week either. You know what I mean? It's like do anything stupid or it's going to jeopardize that. Yeah. So, JPO. Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
I also read earlier that Logan Paul wasn't planning on coming out with the American flag, but once he heard that Canada was doing the national anthem, yeah,
it was a good troll. I liked it. So again, he's a good heel. He's a good heel. I don't care what anybody says. He's a great heel. JPO, what'd you think of this chamber match, Mr. JPO?
JPO.
Jordan Owens, Mr. JPO. Jordan Owens. Jordan, JPO. JPO. Hey, you.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on?
Hey, would you like to talk about the chamber, the men's elimination chamber?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Excellent, great analysis. All right, all right. So we'll move on to the kind of what ended up being sort of not the match main event, but the main event of the show. Everybody's talking about it. Yes, The Rock, Cody comes out first. Cena, again maybe suspiciously still in the ring. But Cody comes out. We. They kind of embrace, we get the sort of, okay, this is going to be the match for Mania. Cody maybe, going out to shake his hand, make it kind of official, have our little face-to-face. But, Cena's still selling it up like babyface Cena, they're both playing to the crowd, playing it up for there. We then get The Rock's music. Well, not necessarily The Rock's music. We get a little bit of The Rock's music, but it's kind of Travis Scott's music. Again, we'll talk about Travis Scott. Why was he out here? I don't know. I didn't think he really needed to be out there. Or at least, look, you want to come out for the entrance, that's fine. Get the fuck out of the ring. You know what I mean? Like, this is not your moment. Get out of the ring. It's about these three guys, not you. But anyways, he comes out. Rock comes out. He's coming out to confront Cody. Gets on the microphone. Cody, I can give you everything you want. This is your chance to be immortal. Whatever the exact words he used, basically making his proposal again. He wants his answer. Cody says that he can't give you his soul because he's already given his soul to the ring and the people. He's the true kind of people's champion. And then, just like I played at the front, he goes, "So Rock, go fuck yourself," and he drops the line, which they did not edit out. That was let fly on Peacock, which I think was the more shocking thing. Not necessarily him using it, but the fact that it wasn't beeped out, you know what I mean? Like, was I think the more just letting it fly.
Then they uploaded it too. I think WWE.
They uploaded it officially.
Officially.
So I mean, it's not like it wasn't a mistake or anything. Like it was. They wanted you to know that's what he said. But Cornette had a good take where he's just like, you always want the babyface to kind of speak for you, the audience, So he said what a lot of the audience wanted to say. Hey, Rock, go fuck yourself, so he does that. Rock kind of just stands there, stares down him. John Cena's reaction was funny, just kind of hopping all over the place, that was great. Playing to the crowd. He goes to embrace Cody. And of course we get, this is why AEW, if you take notes, this is why WWE has production meetings. Is for shots like this because they perfectly on camera captured all the different angles and shots that they needed to. Obviously of the hug, the big large hug, then the face change for John Cena, zooming in on that, seeing his facial expression, immediately cutting to The Rock doing the throat slash, and then back to John Cena, and then the subsequent, kicking the balls or whatever. This is great production. This is why you need a great director and good communication amongst the people. Like, this is exactly how you do it. It played beautifully. Great moment. I think the crowd was like half shocked, half, like, oh my God, like what a moment, eventually coming around to booing Cena. But yeah, it really worked. They put a beating on him. He hit him with his Rolex a couple of times, which Michael Cole called brass knuckles at first, which Pat McAfee quickly corrected him. No, that's the damn Rolex. That's the gold Rolex. He hit him in the face. He hit him with a belt a couple of times. Looked pretty good. Cody's bleeding. Gets a black eye. I don't know whether from the belt shots or from Travis Scott just wailing on Cody.
Travis Scott slapped him really hard in the face.
Really, really hard. Apparently, like punctured his eardrum or something is what I heard.
Man. Why would you do that? Why, you're not supposed to look fucking.
He keeps trying to pick up Cody when they got to do the belts, shots, the whipping, and it's like, no, leave him down. We got to do this belt thing.
Cena had to hold him down and like, fucking no, I'm trying to fucking.
No, we're trying to whip him with the damn belt. Like, stop trying to pick him up. We're supposed to do the spot. But yeah, Rock whips him with the weight belt. Of course, this is Cody Soul, wipes his blood on the belt, and we get that shot, to kind of end the show where Cena's got his foot on top of Cody's head, and they're all posing there all together. So beautiful stuff. I mean, the word cinema got thrown around a lot, but I don't think it's exaggerated. I mean, the way they shot it was beautiful, from piece to piece to piece, the way it was all laid out, the twists and the turns. It was a great moment. And, we'll talk about, how this ranks up there with some of the great, heel turns of all time. But let's just get your initial thoughts on just the whole angle in general. JPO, your thoughts overall on the angle. JPO?
No, I thought it was great. My only qualm is the Travis Scott thing.
Go ahead. You wanted to rant about Travis Scott.
I do want to rant on that because here's the thing. I do like to think about it from a business perspective, so I get that, like, they're into, Instagram views and like he's a big star in his own right. Sell me him though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who the fuck it is. I know I'm not alone in that. Give me a vignette. Show me on SmackDown that he's part of the Rock's entourage. Like, explain like why he's there. Because here's the sad part about it too, is that it's not going to be evergreen. We can watch the Hulk Hogan NWO turn and go, beautiful. Still to this day. One day we're going to watch this and go, who the fuck was that guy in the background again? Travis Shawn? P. Diddy? No, P. Diddy was the guy that did the what the fuck's his name? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. The dude's in the background, the dude's egregious. You could tell, like, they just want him to hold Cody, and he's like fucking smacking him, and like, which is another egregious thing. Like, don't be doing physical shit if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So yeah, that's my only thing is, like, sell me on him, man. Like, give me a vignette, give me a promo of his, like, I'm here in front row because The Rock's my boy, and I don't know. I just think it's that's the only thing is if you got to scrub him from this. I thought it was pretty damn cool because Cena was there the whole time, suspicious in the aftermath, didn't necessarily pick up on it at the time, and you look forward to seeing where we're going now.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to that first Cena heel promo. I think it's going to be very interesting. Both just the promo itself, the presentation of him. Do we get new music? Do we get new attire? Does he dress differently? Than his usual stuff.
Like I said, black jorts.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think that first promo is going to be very interesting.
He comes out to bad man from his. You can't.
I'm a bad man. Even in the fight, I'm a bad man. Even in the night, I'm a bad man.
But yeah, Jacob, start to finish, how was the angle for you, man, and your kind of live reaction?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I too was a little suspicious. Like, why is Cena staying out here? Like, I understand, like, him being out there, Cody Rhodes coming out, them shaking hands. And then I kind of expected him to kind of leave the ring, maybe stay ringside if you want to watch, but stay ringside.
Which is what Travis Scott should have done. Yeah. Leave the ring at least. You can stay ringside, that's fine, but get the fuck out of the ring for the shot, for the main angle. Like, get out of the ring and stand aside. I kept going, like, get the fuck out of the ring, Travis. Get out of the ring, Travis. Get out of the ring, Travis. This isn't your moment. Get out of the ring. It's about these three guys, the real stars of this damn show, not you. So.
Yeah, and then that was my only thing is, like, maybe Cena gets out of the ring because I've been watching some reactions and they were like, after Cody refused and like, go fuck yourself and all that, I was like, oh, is Cena gonna turn heel? Is that why he's been here the whole time? But like, if maybe he was on the outside and then he comes in, maybe like those people were like, oh, Cena's okay, and then the heel turn. I think it's still shocking. It's still a big moment. I don't think anybody. I think maybe you kind of see it come in during the chamber match, like how quickly he jumped on Punk after Rollins stomped him. Like, maybe like, oh, that's not quite Cena-like, because like you remember, if you even go back to their Money in the Bank match, like when Laurinaitis and McMahon came out, like he went out, punched him in the face, and then like got back in there, like I don't need help,
Well,
like I'm gonna do this on my own.
he wasn't in that big promo on SmackDown. Like we didn't get any appearances from Cena, like pre-Chamber. You know what I mean? Like everybody else had that thing on SmackDown where they were all cutting promos on each other, out in the ring, but like Cena wasn't there. That was also kind of suspicious of like, why wouldn't he be, cutting up with the fans? Maybe that was a prediction for the future. Even his press conference thing where he says, "I'm going to do what's best for business," kind of in a very stern, tone of voice.
Yeah, so there may have been like hints and teases here and there, but I don't think anybody expected a heel turn in like his final run. Like maybe a more serious turn, but not like a full heel turn. So for one, I love it. I think it's great because it's totally unexpected, and I think it could make for a fun dynamic between. My own thing is does he stay heel for the rest of his run? Does he retire as a heel? Does he turn like a couple months before and you go back?
I think for a good chunk of the year he's a heel, and then maybe the last 3 months or so he starts to make the turn back to babyface. I think eventually. So I don't think he's gonna end. I don't think he's gonna officially retire as a heel. I don't see that happening.
So it's like how does he go back? But
it's a funny thing where
going into WrestleMania.
It's a funny thing. It said really the only reason he turned heel was because his Make-A-Wish before the Chamber was the kid asked for him to turn heel as his wish. And so, being the stand-up guy that he is, and he'll do anything for Make-A-Wish, he honored the kid's wish, so, to turn heel, which I thought was funny.
I would love it. Totally heel thing. And I don't know. Some kids Make-A-Wish is for Cody to be there, and then Cena just like attacks him from behind. He's like, "No, kid, that's my thing."
Well, I do think again, you have to with these guys who are such established baby faces, you have to do something dastardly with them where he puts a beating on some beloved people. I think there's two options here with this where you really need to put it over. There's R-Truth, I think, is one guy that he could put a real beating on, and it would be somebody that everybody loves. That would be like you would get legitimate heat for, maybe bloodying up R-Truth a little bit. And oddly enough, Stu the cameraman that he's always talking about. If he came out one day and just attacked the camera guy that's always follows him out right there at the thing and just put a beating on him, like I think could also be
gentlemen, give it up for Stu. He's been there 30 years, just beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, just beating the hell out of him. I mean, those people that like are close to him. Yeah.
Hey Stu. Go
fuck yourself.
Yeah. But I mean, I do think R-Truth is a possibility of like somebody you need that's like beloved, that everybody loves, that looks up to John Cena and makes a point of using his moves and everything. Like he needs to put a beating on R-Truth as one of his first things. Like
he's booked for 3 Raws overseas between now and Mania, so I could definitely see that happen.
I could see that has to happen. He's got to do something like that because I don't think a promo enough would be enough or whatever. It needs to be something like that where he really establishes this like mean streak, like he has to.
R-Truth is having fun on like on X, Twitter, or whatever, just denying, being in full like denial mode. He was like there's a picture of like obviously him trying to choking Cody out, and he goes, "Oh, AI generated, bro. That's not real."
Well, I mean, you could even see that playing into his like whenever they do have a face to face, like maybe he comes out to be like, "Come on, man, this ain't you my guy, you the boy," blah blah blah, and John Cena just beats the shit out of it, like, and just puts a beating on and just keep going and going and going. You know what I mean? Like that, I could see that happening and being like part of an angle, on one of the Raws, like that could definitely work. So,
it's a good way to like finalize it. You know what I mean? Like,
they need to do it somehow.
Have R-Truth be like, "Man, you're my idol." We could and then just have like Cena no sell it like he did the press conference. I don't know if you saw the press conference. He literally just dropped it out. Do that again. That. I love the idea of him doing that. Yeah.
Well, I saw a good comparison when Stone Cold turned heel, and the crowd was still kind of half cheering him, half booing him, and you had to really get people to boo him. Who were the two different groups of people that he put a beating on. One was Hardy's and Lita, when him and Triple H put that beating on them, with the chairs and stuff, if anyone remembers that. And because they were some of the most beloved people on the roster, baby faces, and the beating was so brutal that you had to boo him. And then also when JR interviewed him on SmackDown, and then he put a beating on JR and bloodied him up, you know what I mean? You had to do something open him up. You have to do something like that to really put it over the top, or otherwise people are gonna cheer it, cheer, still half cheer, half boo. You have to do R-Truth is the one guy you have to, he's the one obvious choice to do an angle like that, with the fact that he imitates him and everything. So it has to be.
Yeah. I actually think that this is the bit when you actually break it down, it might be actually the best time for Cena to turn heel, because I think one of the biggest reasons they didn't turn him heel before was because he was the big merch seller, and so I can, for all of Vince's faults, I get, but even if Triple H was running it, he probably wouldn't have pulled the trigger on a heel turn there either, even though there was talks here and there about it. But it's your risk. I think they learned with the Austin thing. It's risky. It is risky doing a heel turn when someone's the biggest merch seller. But when he's current Cena is not the big, because he's not full time, hasn't been full time. He's not the biggest merch seller. I'm pretty sure that's either Jey Uso or Cody. So you don't have as much to lose, and some of these kids sort of growing up now, a lot of the time Cena's being away here and there, so they're not they're growing up with him, but not really. It's not he's not as this the beloved hero. So it's a bit of time to do it instead of in a way, but it's still shocking, because I didn't think they would actually ever sort of go there. I don't know. I don't know if he would have been. I thought that just on his last run, you didn't think that they would actually do it.
I think it was also a perfect time in that. Remember in the 2010s, I mean, he was still the biggest babyface in the company, but the reactions were 50-50. So some people were already booing him, you know what I mean? Half the crowd was booing. So if he had gone heel, they probably, would have gone with it. But now it's gotten to the point where even us who maybe booed him in the 2010s are all it's 2025. It's John Cena. We love the guy. We're going to miss him. He's one of the best. He's gotten past that point of nobody's booing him anymore. Everybody loves him just as even just, one of the vets. You know what I mean? And it's the perfect time to do that.
Yeah, they realize, we booed you because you're maybe overexposed, but we get that you're an asset to wrestling, and you're how good you were,
and how good of a guy you are with all the Make-A-Wishes, and you're just a good dude, you're just a good guy, and and I mean, you do what's right for business. A lot of the times you put guys over, it's they got to the point where nobody was booing him anymore. So again, it's kind of the perfect time to turn him, because now we're oh shit, okay, now we kind of have to boo him, because of the character, but it works. It's kind of the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
So,
but I think, if it wasn't for the Travis Scott thing, it still might be, but this could still go down as one of the biggest or one of the better heel turns of all time. But if the Travis Scott thing puts it down a bit, a little tiny.
Yeah, it does a little bit, but not that much. It's because it's easily kind of even overlooked in the meat and potatoes of it. I don't think it's ever going to be. I think Hogan's still going to be the best ever, the NWO, because it just is. Because that heel turn changed the business, changed the entire wrestling business. You know what I mean? That wrestling was very vanilla in 1996, both WCW and WWF at the time, and that brought a real edge to something. And Hogan needed that heel turn. Cena didn't necessarily need this heel turn. He didn't need it. He still would have been cheered the whole year, this whole run. So it's not like he was falling out of favor and needed a bump in popularity or anything. And Hogan's thing literally just changed that whole company, you know what I mean? Period. And started maybe one of the greatest, kind of angles ever. So, but I still think this is in that conversation of you made a top 5. This is already in there. It already is, it's in that conversation. So, but let's get overall thoughts, and your overall thoughts on this and the angle and sort of where the legacy is. JPO, your whole thoughts on the whole pay-per-view, and how was this as far as elimination pay-per-views in general go? One of the better ones?
It's hard. I almost want to curve these grade these on a curve, because there's still only 4 matches. which I still feels a bit of a cheat comparing them to 6, 7, 8 match cards. But no, as far as this goes, just in general, it's a good show. It's a really good show. 3 matches I would actually go out of my way to see, and then while you're there, stick around for the mixed tag, or not the mixed tag. Stick around for the tag. You're there anyway. So that's a good show right there. Moved along plots, good matches. That's about all you can ask for. That was a good show.
Excellent. Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Yeah, I think 3 out of the 4 were bangers. The mixed tag. Now I'm saying mixed tag. Women's tag.
Yes.
Was decent. Nice seeing Trish back. An unexpected heel turn to 2 great returns. Yeah, I think setting up some things for WrestleMania really nicely. So yeah, really, really solid show from start to finish. One that I could see myself revisiting for several moments. Like out of 10, I'd like 8.5. I'm in that range. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I'll go 8.5.
Okay.
Which it might go down. Like the more I watch and the more I think about it, but like gut reaction, like first time watch, I'm going pretty high.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, I actually thought the show was fantastic. I thought almost everything worked here. Yeah, I think, I think that heel turn, that was done so well. I'm willing to, I like we said about The Rock now at the moment, where how he sort of influences power, but like maybe we should trust him a bit. I don't know. I'm just saying, if he came up with this,
maybe we should trust him because how excited was everybody for WrestleMania before this, and how excited are they now? Mm-hmm. Maybe we should kind of trust him. Yeah, maybe he was right.
like Triple H said when he kicked off the press conference. Yeah. Does it feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania now?
Yeah, you're right. No, and maybe he was cooking this all along. Who knows? Maybe we should take the Rock's advice and know our roles and shut our mouths and enjoy the ride. Maybe we should. Maybe he's right. I can admit I'm wrong. Yeah.
So I thought this one of the better chamber pay-per-views I've seen, and I thought everything worked here. It's one of those ones I'll probably go back to. I'm gonna actually give it I might bump it up to a 9. Actually, I thought it was really good.
I'm in that 9 territory also. I think because of the final angle, it's an all-time angle, that ends the show. And I think, you end a show that strong, both with a great match and a great angle afterwards, and even throw in like the Jade Cargill stuff, the Randy Orton stuff. I mean, this is a show of a lot of highs and a lot of great storytelling. And great matches in between. So it's a pretty damn good show. So I think we'll be talking about this one in at least the upper half of shows. When it comes to the end of the year, which, speaking of that, why is there no PLEs announced between now and the SummerSlam? Like, it's a WrestleMania SummerSlam?
Yeah, because the Paris one's in September, right?
Yeah. No, the Paris one is like a couple weeks after SummerSlam, but it's like still in August.
But
there's literally we have 2 Saturday Night's Main events, but why is there nothing announced?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Evolution, but that's not confirmed. There's what there was talk about
that wouldn't even count. That'd be a bonus.
That would be a bonus, and then there was talk about something in Australia, but that's nothing not confirmed or anything. So I don't know, announced stuff.
Yeah, no backlash. There's no other just random PLE overseas or anything. Just in I don't know. Yeah, June. Oh. You could have something in June pretty easily. In between, April and August. Have something in between to build to. It just seems odd that all we've got is 2 random Saturday Night's Main events, and that's it. And I would have thought I was waiting. I kept waiting during this chamber for them to announce a backlash somewhere or some other PLE. Whatever. In May or June, and we still haven't had any. So I don't know. Maybe in the next couple of weeks. Seems odd. Seems odd. Yeah, that we don't have anything. But great show overall. So good Elimination Chamber and a lot coming out of it. So we'll see what the fallout is. We got a little bit of it on Raw, but mostly on the CM Punk side of things and Seth Rollins. Obviously we're supposed to hear from Cody's supposed to cut a promo on SmackDown, so we'll hear from him. And then we'll see which ones John Cena pops up. I think he's announced for a couple of SmackDowns here and there. I'm sure he'll be on a few Raws.
He's going to be on Raw, not this coming week, but I think the next week or whatever. I think
he's announced for some of those European Raws because they're going to Europe for that tour in Europe. So
17th, 24th, and 31st, I believe.
Yeah,
Also,
so I would imagine he'll be on some of those. Yeah,
and he's got to be on the 2 or 3 before WrestleMania too. He's got to be
for sure.
Hats off to Cena for his schedule. Apparently he flew in from like Budapest in Hungary to make the day of the Elimination Chamber, and then after the press conference, he flew to Africa for a movie. And he's saying, Jesus Christ. This schedule's. I'm tired even thinking about the schedule, but
that's why he just did the mic drop. He's like, I got a plane to catch.
Yeah, I got a plane to catch, guys. I got to fly to wherever, Africa. So whatever he's doing. Kudos to the guy for doing his thing and looking great, in the process. So kudos to him. So, all right, we'll see where this goes. I'm excited to see, where we go from here. So the road to WrestleMania is looking good. All right, JPO, it's your time to shine. Let's switch companies here. Let's talk about AEW. Let's get to Revolution because we have a pay-per-view. Your time is now. Yeah, you can't see me. We can see.
Before we do that, who won the predictions?
Oh, I can announce that. I do have the predictions right here. Well, JPO, you ended up with 3 points just for KO, Trish, Tiffany, and Bianca. Nothing else, unfortunately.
My bad.
Richie only ended up with 3 points as well. KO, Trish, and Tiffany, and just 1 Naomi point for the Women's Chamber being one of the first 2. That's all he had, unfortunately. Jacob with 4 points. KO, Trish, Tiffany, the Naomi first 2 prediction, and the Rollins first 2 predictions of the Chamber. And I ended up, I went perfect on all my predictions, plus 2 bonus points for the first 2. 6 points. For myself, KO, Trish, Tiffany. I also predicted Bianca and Cena, and then got Naomi and Drew as the first 2 for their respective chambers. So I took away with the predictions here for the chamber. So I have another one in the chamber, so to speak, for down the line. And we will have some time in between, now and WrestleMania. I mean, we've got like you said, 7 weeks still, to go. So even after Revolution, we've got quite a while till their next pay-per-view. So, I know a couple of you guys, we'll probably end up just going around the horn anyways. Everybody will get a chance to do something, you know what I mean? So, because I know Richie and JPO still have one in the chamber, I believe, each a piece. And Jacob will let you get, you get one on one of your non-comedy nights, whatever you want to do. We got plenty of time to kill before WrestleMania, so we can all do that or pick a retro WrestleMania, whatever we want to do. We'll figure something out. So, but I do have one official, so we could do something bad or we can do something good. I don't know. You guys can bribe me to do something good, or else, I don't know. I picked a pretty damn good show last time. I feel like we got to go in the opposite direction next time.
Besides a watch, like come up with a new idea.
A new idea? I don't know.
I don't know. It always have to be a watch along.
I like doing watch alongs though. It's fun.
All right, that's your pick.
That's kind of his thing. Kind of like your thing is let's rank things and.
No, but I've mixed that up before.
People. You I do,
know, but it will. I do it, but I also do the most work for it. I end up taking all fucking 5 pages of notes. It's not like
I'm looking out for you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't mind doing it. And then I like JPO. You give him like cage match, fun facts and stuff. It's fun. I like it. Give him updates and things. It's fun.
Right on.
I like taking a trip down the time machine and seeing what parallels, and no matter what I pick, watching Jeff Jarrett show up, no matter what I pick, it's fun. So I swear to God, I picked an NXT and he still showed up. It's fucking ridiculous. He's the guy that won't go away. But JPO, let's get to you, sir. It is your time is now. Run us down a little Revolution. What we got going on?
Yeah, we ain't talking. We ain't talking for. We ain't talking 4 matches no more. We're talking now, I think about 11 here, or 10 actually. I believe it's 9 main show. 1 on the pre-show so far for Revolution coming us to a Sunday. So we still have Collision to go through as well. Maybe they'll announce more pre-shows on the Collision coming up. That first pre-show match, though, that we are on the 0 hour. Johnny TV teams up with Mansoor and Mason of the MXM Collection take on Big Boom AJ, as well as Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe, a feud because Johnny knocked out his double chocolate cookie out of his hand. So obviously it's a blood feud. I'm on the bottom tonight, so I'll go. It's the fucking Costco guy, Richie.
Yeah, this is like a very random match, and I almost feel bad for Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe that they don't have anything bigger to do. But yeah, this might get some traction because it's the Costco guy. But yeah, the Costco guy is not losing, so I'll go Team Costco guy with Cassidy and Briscoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll say I kind of get it. They were at like one of the big like basketball games recently, advertising it. So and then they're only on the pre-show, so it probably ends up making sense business wise. Barber.
Remember when Orange Cassidy was challenging for the world title and Mark Briscoe was the Ring of Honor world champion? How the
Orange is in that he's becoming Jay White. They've like flip flop. Like Jay White is back in like the main event picture when Jay White was. Remember when he was on the pre-shows all the time, and now he's like they flip flop.
But yeah, it's the Costco guy. And did they like Photoshop? I don't even know the young kid's name, but like his arms.
that arm looks
like
that is not his arm.
What was he doing?
No,
his fucking forearm is as big as mine. There's no fucking way.
No.
Yeah,
I will say Big Boom AJ, like his match with what's his name?
PT Marshall.
It wasn't terrible. Like you can tell, like he kind of had, some background. He didn't look terrible.
No, he was a terrible match. This isn't out of nowhere.
Yeah, so I think it'll still be decent. It's just I don't like Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe being relegated to this and being on the pre-show. Like I think they deserve better. But
no, I actually think it'll be a fun match. Actually, yeah, because I mean I think you have obviously even though without the Costco guy, you got 5 really talented people.
Right.
Because can hold his own in his spots. I'll actually defend the pre-show thing to a degree because, as I always say, man, like wrestling is a puzzle, and unfortunately, not everyone fits on every pay-per-view. So, would you rather them just not be there at all? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's only so many spots. I'm saying at the end of the day. So,
I mean, Chris Jericho play on the pay-per-view.
Well, see, that's not true because he's not on the show. Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And back in the day, he wasn't, and we could probably name several big, names that aren't, doing shit. So that's what I'm just saying. Like I think there is logic in like, hey, it's just this month is not Cassidy's month. Next month he could be in a huge match. Who knows?
Every month is Cassidy's month. You watch yourself.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't think that the faces are going over in this one. Like it's the pre-show, so 100% the Costco crew or whatever you want to call them. It's going over in this one. One other pre-show note, JPO, your boy Paul Walter Hauser is on the pre-show panel.
I meant to say that. Yeah, Paul Walter Hauser is on the pre-show.
Yeah, he was announced officially for the pre-show panel to be tooling around there. So hey, maybe he gets involved in this match. He could.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't build to something sooner or later. I mean, the dude literally has been a touring wrestler.
He turns heel on the Costco guy.
There we
go.
We
see your Cena heel turn, and we raise you a Paul Walter.
He could be on a pre-show match on an upcoming show. I could see that happening. Put Paul Walter on a pre-show match. Yeah, I can see it.
Put Paul Walter and Matt Cardona. You can do it. He's not signed. Do it.
I'd put Paul Walter on the fucking main show. I mean, he's actually good,
but not Orange Cassidy.
No, what? That's not my point. Stop. I'm just saying that he's wrestled a lot. Actually, he's wrestled literally. I was gonna say at least it's in a year span, like 13 matches. That's not bad. Like the dude's a regular
Roman Reigns,
MLW and Revolver. Yeah, more than Roman Reigns, more than the Costco guy.
Hey, Jacob, has Orange Cassidy won an Emmy? No, he hadn't.
A Golden Globe. But we are.
Never mind.
We are on the main show.
Let's get back on track. We're going long tonight. Let's get back. We got a lot of matches.
And we got 9 matches though. We got a cage match here. A solid steel cage. Will Salisbury, Kyle Fletcher, Richie.
I got a prediction. This match is going to be very good. I know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, so bold.
I know. Also, Kyle Fletcher looks like a total goof with a fucking crown on his head. But that's probably the point. Yeah. No, I mean, I just feel like Will Ospreay is sooner than later is probably going to find himself in a title match. So you want to have a momentum, but I do like how Kyle Fletcher's broken out these past year or so. So I'll go Will Ospreay here.
That's right, Jacob.
Yeah, no, I just looked it up. Dave Meltzer already gave this match 5 1/4. So
He's already minimum.
yeah, it's gonna be really good. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do in the cage. I'll be honest, I haven't kept up with AEW very much over the last few weeks, but I am still gonna go Will Ospreay. Yeah, I think he's gonna be the guy going forward. I think he will be in that world title picture sooner rather than later. So two really good workers. I still want to see Kyle Fletcher succeed. I think he could be a great champion as well. Maybe it's the TNT International, maybe something else later down the line. But yeah, for now I'll go Will Ospreay.
Pez, you gonna third it or disagree?
Yeah, I'm gonna third it. I also will make a prediction that somebody does something stupid off the top of the cage. I think that's a prediction. But no, I think Will take it only because I think Fletcher will move on. We'll talk about another prediction. It goes into another prediction I'm going to make. But I think being a part of the Callis family, I think Fletcher moves on to something involving Kenny Omega and a possible title, in between, whatever. And I think, he could, go back to that. So I think we will focus on that. So I think Will takes this one because I think Fletcher won the last one, and I think they'll just even it back up here.
Do you think Don Callis dies with the cage? Is that what the silly thing you're thinking?
No. But I think Don Callis could pass implements through the cage, weapons and whatnot.
Yeah, a screwdriver fits through those little holes. I'm sure
it sure does. Yeah, a screwdriver slides through very nicely, so that could work.
By the way, I gotta love more murder happening on Dynamite. Ricochet goes to stab Swerve. Swerve stabs him in the head with scissors. Later on, there's MJF teases setting Paige on fire. Gotta love murder.
By car.
After almost running him and Renee over with a car. So I'll fourth Will also with the slight logic of this is a pay-per-view rubber match. Fletcher's had a victory before. Ospreay got it back at the last one, so I think Ospreay will end up being the winner of that feud to a degree. So Ospreay
had a good interview with Chris Van Vliet, just came out today. Good stuff.
Oh, fantastic! I haven't seen that at all. Sweet. Barber, what you got is Kazuchika Okada takes on Brody King for the Continental title. Let me tell you about this epic feud, by the way. All right. On Collision, they bump shoulders, right? Then later on, Okada attacks the end. All right, just thought I should tell you the epic.
That's almost as good as spilling coffee on somebody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, Okada retains because I can see King and Buddy. I can see them going after the tag titles very soon. But when Omega returned and presented Okada with the belt, and they kind of teased that all in Texas thing, I think that's where we're going. Does it need a title? No. Does a title make it bigger? I think so. So I think Okada retains.
Bitch.
I think it's gonna be a great match, but Okada retains.
Pez?
Yeah, I would love to see Brody get the bump here, but he's probably not going to. But yeah, I think they're gonna, like Jacob said, I think they're gonna focus on him and Buddy as this tag team. Maybe going after the Hurt Syndicate. I could see that being the next kind of thing lined up for there. And yeah, again, I'm alluding to a prediction for later, but I think Okada's gonna hang on to this until he bumps with Omega, and I think it's gonna be like a title unification thing or a title for title, something like that. So to make it much bigger.
One less title. Pez, no, we need more.
I know, that's crazy. We need more titles, not less titles. So I think Okada hangs on to it until we get there. I just don't see him dropping it here, especially to Brody. So yeah, I'm pretty easily going Okada here.
Yeah, I won't go easily, but I could see a potential, they just really love Brody. Him getting kind of an upset if you want to do something kind of fun at the pay-per-view. But no, I also kind of will allude to what Barber said. I could see him and Buddy going for the SAG titles. Them and Hurt Syndicate sounds like a pretty cool pay-per-view worthy or just big Dynamite main event worthy match. And then I also just kind of feel like he's obviously had it for a while. I also kind of feel like Okada's not quite done. I don't think he's had enough big pay-per-view matches. I think this might be another notch in his belt. You know, he was a big ass signee for a good amount of money. So, Richie, are we gonna agree on a third match in a row, or?
Yeah. While they haven't built up this match, like particularly that very quickly, but I'd argue that he's feuded with Hounds of Hell for longer. So I guess in that sense, like maybe you could see that was coming, but I don't know. Yeah, but I don't see Okada losing it till all in Texas with Omega. So I'll go Okada. And hopefully we have some differentials coming up soon.
Oh, wow. He's 2 weeks away from holding it for an entire year.
I guess.
Please don't tell me the Mercedes match is next because it's just going to keep the streak going.
Oh, I don't remember what order I have it in. No, I'm just gonna ask Richie, when did they? He didn't. Okada's never feuded with the Hounds or whatever.
Huh?
What? No, never mind.
The Hellhounds that you said. What?
Yeah.
No, well, like he took on Buddy at the Grand Slam, so he's kind of,
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't even include that in the storytelling of this, though. Like,
they should have.
You're selling me more than they did. At least unless I misheard it on commentary. This very much just kind of felt like they ran.
Although it seems to be an AEW problem that we figure out the storylines more than they figure out the storylines. They didn't sell everybody ganging up on Adam Copeland at the damn pay-per-view, and now he goes after them one by one. They didn't sell that at all, or at Grand Slam, and we had to figure that out, and because they didn't sell that after the fact. So they seem to have that.
Yeah, I just took it as lazy booking, and almost sometimes I feel AEW goes, "Oh shit, the pay-per-view's in a week." What? We don't have a full card yet? All right. They fucking they run into it. Here's a fun one for you here. Benjamin loves his new hat as Shelton and Bobby will take on the Outrunners, Turbo and Truth. What you thinking, Pez?
This isn't going to help the predictions because I think Hurt Syndicate beats the fuck out of the Outrunners. Sorry. Hurt Syndicate puts a hurting a beating on the Outrunners. I think we've missed the boat on the Outrunners. You should have put the titles on them 6 months ago or a year ago when they were super hot. And I feel like they've never been as hot. And I think this is kind of been strung together. But yeah, the Hurt Syndicate is dominant right now. They're not dropping this damn thing. I see them maybe feuding with the Hellhounds after this, and one or two other teams. So I don't know what go say it's going to be a squash, but I also kind of want to say it might be a glorified squash, kind of like most of the Hurt Syndicate matches are kind of glorified squashes. So I think this is going to be a beating for the Syndicate.
I you know what? I mean, if you do want to save time on pay-per-view, that could be a way to do it. I think it'll be a full match, maybe not a 12-15 but I could see it going at least 8 to 10 or more. Because I do think this is their first time of really finally you could argue they could have done it a while ago, but this is finally AEW's first real push of the Outrunners as far as pay-per-view, 2-on-2. Easily this is their biggest match of their careers. So I think it'd be really a super missed opportunity just to kill them. So I think they will put an effort here, but I do think it's kind of like we've seen in the past, maybe a bit of a test as well. You know what I mean? They had Julia Hart fight for it and then later on get it. And same like Chris Statlander, I think it's kind of like a test of seeing how they do on a main show. And Hurt Syndicate, this is, I believe, their first big pay-per-view defense. It's taking it off of Private Party on TV. So, Richie?
Yeah, I kind of with Bez in a sense that I don't know. I think maybe, I think Outrunners aren't the team that should beat Hurt Syndicate, and I think Outrunners beats a team sort of more of their sort of style, I guess. I know Young Bucks kind of pitched for them to beat them, and I'd be fine with that. I just think Hurt Syndicate are sort of more positioned as badasses and dominant ones, and I don't think Outrunners winning would kind of hurt them a little bit, but and I could see Hounds of Hell being a more better matchup. So I'll go Hurt Syndicate, and hopefully there'll be different. There'll be a point of difference here sometime soon.
Barber, we agreeing again?
Yes, as much as I don't want to, as much as I would love to see the Outrunners as tag team champions, I think we get there eventually. I do think they put up a test. I think we see a couple near falls, but yeah, the Hurt Syndicate, they're keeping them. It's too early in their title reign for them to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so yep, that is another clean sweep. Love to these guys. The funny quote on Dynamite was it's a 20 long rookie years took us to get here, but we're thinking these young rookies right here might get it. Hey, fuck!
This isn't gonna help.
Okay,
That's not gonna help.
hold on. Should we tournament fights this and just like move on with Mercedes?
Yeah, Mercedes, raise your hand. Okay, yeah. Who the fuck is? Who is this chick? I don't know. Mercedes ain't dropping it. Sorry.
I'll literally like refer her to Travis Scott again. Like they've done a bad job selling me on this. Like she won it on Wrestle Dynasty, which wasn't even really an AEW pay-per-view.
On the pre-show.
Hasn't been on TV. Oh, that's true too. Which that's kind of a Japan thing. I feel they like put women on the pre-show sometimes. But and then like they did like one backstage thing. I think like I don't even know what was wrestled for AEW yet.
They had like. Mercedes walked by her briefly at Grand Slam. Does that count in the front row?
She was at Grand Slam, but they weren't because they I guess they sort of teased it, but they also, I mean, like again, like I guess this wasn't seen because no one watches like the Ring of Honor, but they also teased her and Athena, so you're like, oh well, where's it going? So, but
oh wow, so I guess she's gonna be on Collision fighting Serena Deeb on Saturday, and that's technically her debut. But a little too fucking late. Like, so
why
that match
she
was there 2 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Yeah, that's insane.
So
I think the big problem is they've quickly ran out of fucking opponent for Mercedes.
They need Athena to face Mercedes. You got to do that. You have to do this.
They reintroduced Billy Starks recently, so I mean, this also could have just been a let's skip the title if you have to kind of show. That or like I said, like fly Momo in and like let us know how good she is and like have her win, you know, like the Serena Deeb match. I'm sure that might be good. I mean, if Momo lives up to the hype, but like again, my money's either spent or not spent by Saturday night. So like, so yeah, Mercedes. All right, this could be some differences here. I'm not even sure how I feel that largely, and shit, it's back on me, isn't it? So we got MJF against the Hangman Adam Page, which I do believe is just a singles match, even though MJF tried murdering him on Wednesday and vice versa. So I could see also a schmaz possibly to set up a rematch. For now, though, just because I think I'd want to see him potentially back in that picture at some point, I'll go my scumbag. I'm just a big MJF guy, so I'll lean towards that, but I definitely could see a couple outcomes here. Richie? Scumbag? Hey, cowboy shit? What you think?
Yeah, then. Question: is Adam Page a heel or a babyface? I should ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can say the same thing, Jacob. Is the Hurt Syndicate heel or babyface?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. I want to go point of difference here, but I'll go MJF. But hopefully, because I do think he'll probably get the win. But I don't think the feud's over. Maybe Hangman wants a rematch.
All right, 2 for 2 for the scumbag. Barber.
No contest. Double count out. No winner. I think it continues. I think maybe they brawl on the outside. Ref counts to 10 or something. I don't think there's going to be a clear winner. We continue it next pay-per-view. You know, you add a stipulation. I think that's the finish. No winner. Double count out is what I'll officially go with.
All righty. Pez got a
actually, Jacob stole my thunder. I'm gonna say some kind of non-finish. I don't know exactly what, but I will say there no pinfall or submission. Whatever it is, there will not be a pinfall or submission. No clear winner. So I don't know if that means double DQ, double count out, no contest, whatever. Right. But you know what me and JP mean. Not a pinfall, not a definitive winner. So we'll at least mix it up that way. I also agree. I think this will not be contained in the ring. something will happen. It goes backstage. I don't know, something. Yeah, some kind of big schmoz that leads to some kind of stipulation thing in the next one. I don't think this gets contained in the ring. I don't see these guys just having a straight up wrestling match at this point. It just seems weird that they would just have just a regular wrestling match.
Yeah, Page likes his death matches. I could see that happening.
Texas death match, 100% could be on the horizon. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a bold strategy, but I think it definitely might pay off.
But at least that finally splits a prediction for us. At least.
Now me and Richie have disagreed, and you'll probably disagree about something.
And now watch nobody get the point because Adam Page just went by pinfall. And
that's true too. That also could fuck us. Yeah. So we got a couple of us thinking scumbag, but a couple of us thinking a little bit of a schmoz, WQ, double counter type situation.
I like when Hangman Page is feuding. He doesn't do it half-heartedly. It's like, if I'm going to hate you, I fucking hate you.
I think this one's not as predictable as you would think either. I think this one.
I think as we get into some of these final ones, I think we're into the territory of, it's thinkers here. Because we got Swerve Strickland, Ricochet, also who against some stabbings from Wednesday. That's a number one contenders match too, which is a little interesting add-on. Richie, do you swerve or do you go ha ha?
Well, I never thought I'd be entertained by Ricochet as a heel. I didn't think he'd work as a heel.
He's actually a way lesser version of John Cena, because I don't recall him ever doing it anywhere. PWG of all Lucha Underground, so NXT, so yeah.
He needed to be a heel. He's while he's a great wrestler, he's kind of bland babyface, but no. So I was good. He's great. Again, you can see it going either way. I'd like to see Swerve get back out there. I guess it all depends on kind of who wins the main event, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I'll go Ricochet.
Ricochet, Trevor, Jacob.
Yeah. Interesting that it's a number one contenders match. Because Ricochet deserves that. Remember when rankings were a thing in AEW, guys?
Twice.
Twice.
They had to give up twice.
Yeah, I don't know if this is giving away my prediction for the main event. But Ricochet being the number one contender just doesn't make sense to me. I'm going with Swerve.
Swerve, Bez?
Yeah, I think a lot of this depends on the main because, if Moxley comes out as champ, you want Swerve because you want a babyface. It doesn't make sense to do heel with Ricochet Moxley. That doesn't make any sense. And but if there's a different outcome, that does make sense. So I think it kind of depends. And maybe this win will foreshadow that. I don't know when it happens on the pay-per-view. Ricochet could use the win, but then again, so could Swerve because it seems like Swerve hasn't had a big win in a while either. So they both kind of need the win.
Yeah, Lashley kind of killed him recently.
Yeah, and they've never gone back to that. So I don't know. There's always the Nana factor. They've been kind of weirdly teasing that Nana could turn and go with Ricochet. That's could be a thing. I don't want to split them up either, but knowing AEW, they would just do it just to do it and try to be shocking after John Cena or I don't know, just to do something, even if it doesn't make that much sense. But I'm gonna go Swerve. I'll stick with him. Still getting over Ricochet.
Down to me, huh? Yeah, no, I am very truly split on this because I almost kind of feel like, do you go with the newer guy because who's never touched the world title, because that could be cool. I'm going to go with Swerve. I've flip-flopped in my mind going over it, but I'm gonna end up with Swerve. Ricky, did you say Ricochet? Did anyone say Ricochet?
Richie said Ricochet, so
that's what I thought. So some love for Ricochet. I do think it's quite possible, but a few of us thinking we're still swerving with Swerve.
Oh my god.
What's billed as the Hollywood ending, which is basically just no DQ, falls count anywhere. Tony Storm defends against Mariah May. Really good cameo though by the Queen of the Ring director, Ari Avildsen, who Pez, who he's the son of?
Who? John G. Avildsen?
Yeah.
The Rocky guy? Yeah.
Legit, yeah. He's the fucking Rocky Karate Kid director's son.
I'm seeing me and my girl are doing a double feature tomorrow, by the way. We're gonna see Mickey 17 and Queen of the Ring, so I'll let you know.
I'm still torn because I really want to, but then it's at a theater I don't like.
It's at my main Regal, so
Ricky's
I'm
17.
excited.
I recommend 17. It's good.
Mm.
I said Ricky, but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Barber, what you got? No, wait. Richie, what you got? I lied.
Ricky Stenicki 17. That's a good movie.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I haven't seen
God,
that.
who knew that would become a 17 movie franchise? Like all the movies. That's crazy.
Wouldn't hate it. But I think it's. I mean, also the title sort of insinuates that this will be the last of the feud, and I think Tony Storm moves on to other challenges. But I hope they don't do that. What they do with other challenges, and like they do in AEW, and then have not Mariah Kay just sort of flounder because she's really good. But I think Tony Storm wins and moves on to feud with someone else. So I'm going to go with Tony Storm because she only just got one better title.
Yeah, Barber.
Yeah, Tony Storm just won the title back. I don't see her dropping it this soon. Or maybe maybe they wanted to be a 5-time champion or whatever she's at now. But Tony Storm is going to win.
Pez.
My only thing is like, what will this be? Will it be kind of a half cinematic thing, like some of these like cinematic matches WWE has done, or like a Hollywood backlot brawl, like Piper and Goldust or something? Like what does this entail? Like I'm intrigued that it could be like a cinematic kind of thing in black and white. Like that could be interesting. Just to make it different. Maybe it's like half pre-taped, half live. Sort of one of those blends. But regardless, it's a Hollywood match. Tony wins.
Yeah, this would be she is on her 4th reign, Tony. So yeah, I mean, just because again, she just kind of got it back, which doesn't necessarily mean May can't have it, because it is her 4th reign. So if this was her 1st reign, I'd say no chance. So I think May has a chance, but I do agree that also kind of based on like it's the first ever Hollywood ending match, if that ever continues. She's so beautiful. Tony Storm. Wow. This is the first photo I found, so now the graphics just changed. Omega versus Alpha, which is Takesha, for the International Championship. Barber?
Oh, see, now this is the one I didn't want to go first on. Oh, yeah, because I could see this going either way. Takesha, he's held the title for a good time now. I mean, he's held it since Wrestle Dream, I believe. Because I was there and it was great. But yeah, no, Omega Okada title versus title is very intriguing. Also, but we still have time to get to that at All In. So, do we see a rematch? This was the one that I'm like, I'm not sure. This is not the one I wanted to go first on. I could have gone first on any of the other ones. I'll go Omega. I'm going to go Omega. I think it's a bad night for the Callis family.
Fun side note: TNA must be in Florida today because I'm looking at a screen grab, and all the security guards are my friends. So, like, oh shoot, it's Devin, and they're all Moose is beating the shit out of all of them. All the family, that's cool. Pez, who you got in the Alpha versus Omega?
I'm gonna pretty easily go Omega here. I think he's gonna get like his really big win here on pay-per-view. He's gonna take the title. I mean, Takesha's had it for a little while. I'm glad he had it. Had a decent run with it. Doesn't mean they can't rematch down the line. But I think Omega's going to take it. He's going to defend against some of the other Callis people. I could easily see him, defending against Fletcher, at Dynasty. Feuding with another Callis person. Maybe Mark Davis. Keeping it going until he gets to Omega. At All In, and it's like a title versus title unification, something or other, both titles on the line. So I think we get to that, and Omega, hangs on to it, gets a couple of strong defenses going eventually to Okada. So I'm going to go Omega.
All righty. Let's see here. I'm going to give it to Takesha, actually. I think we build up the fact that Omega has just been back. And have him kind of earn a title a little bit more, in my opinion, here than just taking it off Takesha, who they can use that giant ass win and have really kind of continue to build this title run. Richie?
Yeah, I was going back and forth here. They also, I like how they tease we wouldn't get this match. Like, could it be Takesha versus Omega? I'm like, yes, you announced it. But then he had to go through his tournament. But yeah, I'll go back and forth because I could see Kenny winning, but like I know that whole crux is Kenny Omega's never pinned that Takeshita like one-on-one, but like you could kind of keep that. It'd be intriguing to keep that going, and then maybe him winning down the line, and maybe you do Kenny and Okada. Kenny wins, and then down the line, and do Kenny and Takeshita again for the actual international title. So point of difference. I'll be flip flopping, but I'll go Takeshita as well.
All right, got splitsies there. Either this guy who's yelling or this guy who's yelling. They're so angry.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hey, we're there, y'all.
It's Mox
We
versus
are there
Cope.
at the main event. Mox Cope World Championship. All right, are we down to me again? No.
I thought we were in
I forgot.
May.
Do it, Wes.
Yeah, here's my conflict. I want this Death Riders thing to go away so fucking bad. I'm just so over it. That I at this point, it's like a month ago I wouldn't have said Edge wins. I want Edge to win just to end this shit, so we can just get it off of him. But I know they're kind of like, I think they're building to some AEW original beating Moxley, like a Page or even MJF to a degree or somebody just. Darby, but Darby's off climbing a mountain. He ain't doing that shit. They're not. Mox's not hanging on to this thing for another 6 fucking months. God, I hope not. Jesus Christ. I want this title off of Moxley like pretty bad, so we can just move on to something else. But at the same time, I just think they're building up to some original person beating him, not Cope, and I think Tony's just not going to let it go. He's like determined to try to get this thing to go somewhere, even though it's not going anywhere. Fuck me. I'll go with Mox just because I have a feeling they're just going to keep dragging this shit out. I would rather see Edge take it or Cope, whatever the fuck, Adam Copeland take it, just to move on. But I'm afraid it's going to be Mox, so I'll say Mox.
The artist formerly known as Edge.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sued. Also, the artist formerly known as Adam Copeland, because fuck first names. I'm gonna go with Cope, and I will expand upon that later. Richie,
I know where you're going.
This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go with. So, my prediction, I guess, if you want to say it, is Cope's winning. But I don't know if you want me to expand on it. If you're expanding it later, maybe I should.
I know where you guys are going to go. Just get Jacobs out of the way and we'll get there. I know.
Jacob.
Christian.
Yeah, it's all right.
We would have ruined it.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, let's go. Cope's winning. Christian cashes in.
Well, but if you're saying Christian, does Christian cash in during the match? And neither one of these two guys, and Christian's the only one.
No, he cashes in. Cope wins.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying for this match, my end prediction is Cope.
Well, Jacob, is your prediction also Cope then officially?
No, mine is Christian. I think he.
Oh, this is officially Christian.
Yeah, I think it's during the match.
Okay.
And yeah,
so that's point of difference.
Because I 100% say the opposite. I say the twist or the real salt in the wound is Cope has it. Cope won. He is the world champ for the first time in many years in a new company for the first time ever, and Christian fucks him out of it. Just like the TNT title. Like it's that story.
But my reason why it doesn't happen is because they already did that.
And that's why I'm doing it
But
this
now
way.
it's for
Christian isn't even going to let him get it.
They
close.
literally did that same
totally
thing.
Less evil.
Or Cope won it for 5 seconds.
I know.
And then
That's
Christian
why
took
I'm
it.
not like 1,000% set. I'm just saying that I am with you on. I'm ready for Mox to lose it. So this is also me.
Don't get me wrong. I'd be happy to say I'm wrong, and either Cope or Christian walks out of this pay per view with the fucking title. I would be over the moon and happy to lose the predictions.
I also, when are we going to have the fucking payoff for Christian? I feel like even though we saw it for the TNT title to a degree, we still have to have that payoff. Let's fucking pay it off. It's been a while already. So I don't even know when that year would be. When When was that thing anyway?
It was like last year, and I think they'll obviously they were doing something as Luchasaurus, but he got sick, and then So I did think they need to pay it off at some point. Whether even he tries to cash it in and fucking fucks up, I don't know. But my prediction is the same as yours. I think Coke wins, and then Christian cashes it.
Yeah. So we have some disagreements here throughout the night here, including the main event, which is I can't zoom in on Christian's face, not on here, but
but officially I have Mox, Richie and JPO have Cope.
Yeah.
Well, with an addendum afterwards, but officially of this match, Cope winning.
Well, yeah, that's just a future prediction. That's not really.
No. Understood.
Yeah,
but Jacob is officially predicting Christian before finishing this one.
Three ways it. Well, they're both out, and then
I just want to make sure I have the proper predictions locked in, ready to go. Yes.
If the addendum doesn't happen, technically, if Cope still wins, we still get the thing, right?
No, you still get it because you're talking about this match.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't get it. I would not.
Jacob would not get it because bell to bell.
That's why
I just want to see them just to explain it. Like I just want to see them. Like, would it be evil for him to take it from Cope like 5 minutes after he won it? Yes. Would it? In my opinion, he's like, no, I don't want Cope to be world champion before me. Like, no, I see an opportunity and I'm going to take it. That's my thing. I could definitely see it going your way. Your way makes more sense, probably.
I just feel like it's to have it so quickly hurts more than never having it at all. I don't know, but I can see them also, like you said, you never even had it, but I have. I can say I'm world champion. Maybe.
Yeah, but I could also see it going your way because it's like, well, Edge, in WWE has done that. He did it twice to other people. Like, hey, not 5 minutes, but like, hey, you, I took your title when you weren't expecting it. Like, how does it feel? I mean, Edge had it done to him too, but.
And then right here is your rundown. If anyone wants to be reminded of what we got coming up for Revolution on Sunday.
And I'm sure.
And by the way, he's held that thing since All In, so August of 2024.
Right. So okay. So you still got a few months, but still, like, it's been a minute. So.
All right. Cool. Well, there you go. All right. Let's wrap this thing up, boy. It's been a long show, but a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Pay-per-view predictions. Yeah, we knew it was gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's been fun. It's been a good discussion. I've had fun. I'm looking forward to Revolution. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good card, top to bottom. Still gonna have.
It's still not. I mean, there looks like a lot of good matches on paper. Like again, the card itself is like there's some solid stuff on here that should be really, really good.
Oh yeah. No, it's
wrestling wise.
It's typical AEW where like I have some qualms. Even Mercedes and Momo might end up being kind of cool. But I just, as far as me being sold on it, and also not feeling like the outcome's obvious, you know what I mean? Like that's the bound down part. Brody and Okada seems pretty cool. Build-up's been super quick and whatever. Like that's the only problem here. And then Cope and Mox, there's a build-up. I just don't know if I love it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest.
That's a cool, unique one-on-one we've never had, right? I would imagine. So
yeah. I think that's the biggest difference. Like, this is why I like having two companies. Like, if you want to watch something that's storyline focused,
watch WWE.
Watch WWE. If you want to watch,
you got a lot of story on Elimination Chamber, like a lot of story.
And now,
and even with the Rumble as well, like a lot of story.
Opposites of match quantity too. WWE is like, we're giving you 4 or 5.
We'll give you 8 to 10.
AEW is like, who's ready for 4 hours? We got 12 matches. I guarantee we'll have at least 2 more pre-shows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe one of the main guys, honestly.
I think 9 is more than enough.
I think the main card is set. I could see another 2 matches into this. Hour. 100%. Yeah, something added last minute.
I could see like hologram or something being announced the pre-show.
Shit, I could probably look at the AEW Twitter page right now. There's probably something announced right now. Who the fuck knows? Like they announce them randomly on their like Twitter page. So you never know.
And Collision is pre-filmed. That's how I knew Momo fought Serena. So they might announce something on that. The afternoon of could always be I bet you there'll be a classic at least. Okay, here's a bonus point. I guarantee there'll be a 6-man random tag. Oh no, there is one already. There's one already. Okay, 10-man tag.
Another random, maybe an 8-man tag.
Another
you'll get like a lucha
8?
team.
That's not enough. We need 10.
Come on,
according to Tony.
Come on, JPO. You know he's gonna throw hologram on some pre-show match
That's
last minute. You know,
they hologram commander against Mortos and somebody. Yeah,
Beast Mortos and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There's your match. Here's a Russo.
Yeah, I mean, there's always plenty of people. Like I said, the whole Jericho family's got nothing. The Murder Machines, Hobbs, Wheeler, Claudio, Pac. For the women, Stanlander, Rosa, Ford, Bane, Jay White, Max Caster. These are all people that got none so far. So.
Yeah, but we have to.
And that was just from the Dynamite this past week. I only named people that wrestled on Dynamite this past week. I didn't even go through the roster.
Right. Yeah. Where's Jeff Jarrett at? He's on his final run too.
I think they dropped
on the card.
We dropped that pretty fucking quick, didn't we? Yeah, Jesus.
Well, I think that's going to be a slow burn. I don't think they ever should have, or they kind of alluded like he was going to start wrestling every week, but I can see that coming back at certain points. Because it looks like he's just doing the pre-show panel again.
I feel like doing fantasy. When we get up to doing AEW fantasy, it's going to be annoying because you half the time. We
had 2 wrestlers.
The consistency of who's on the roster or who's on the shows week to week is very inconsistent.
Because we put people on the show for a while and then they just disappear. You're like, fuck, where are
3 months?
That Lance Archer is really paying off.
We're gonna burn through our 3 fucking substitutions real quick on AEW.
There is a clear number 1 when it comes to that draft, and then afterwards.
It's like everybody else.
Take your pick.
So that'll be a big wheel. Who gets?
I know there's a clear number 1. I mean, there's probably a clear first round or 2 rounds, and then it's who the fuck knows?
Yeah, you just got to go with your gut.
Yeah. So
all right, no one takes a 10 to go from me. Okay?
And hey, if everyone watching, Amazon Prime's an option for you now if you want to watch.
Oh yeah, it's
It is a full-on add-on. It's not on the free channel, but
right.
It's just another option. A different streaming service. Yeah,
I mean it makes sense. You want to make things as easily and accessible.
I will stick to Triller because I've had no problems with Triller this week.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm a firm believer in if it ain't broke. So
it's on an add-on it's only an add-on for America, Canada, and UK. Not an add-on for us. So
the real countries. Yeah, we get it.
The ones that matter, we know.
We're real,
the ones that are actually engaged in trade wars. We don't give a fuck about Australian tariffs and shit. Who cares? There's nothing we want from you, anyways. That's fine. Yeah, what are you going to export from prisoners?
AEW just gave you a collision. Okay, you don't need the. Come on.
Yeah, you don't need anything else. That's all we want from you.
Don't be greedy.
You're still good actors from us. We respect Hugh Jackman and
is it stealing if they come willingly, Richie?
I don't know. I don't have an argument. Just go with me here.
We'll give you. Let's see. We'll give you Steven Seagal.
That's shit. Okay. I want Tony. Give me Tony Collette.
You can have all the canceled people. We'll give you Kevin Spacey. We'll give you, Jonathan Majors. You can have them all. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll fit right in.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep Diddy though. I don't want him.
Yeah, a lot of people did at those parties. I'm sure.
We shall reconvene next week and talk Revolution. We'll go through the show, give our thoughts on it. But a JPO between now and then,
talk about what should be a pretty banger Madison Square Garden Raw.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Do we even talk about Seth and?
I mean, just brief. I mean, we don't have to go into detail, but I mean, you got Seth Rollins and CM Punk in a cage. That should be fun. We got Ray.
I think Roman's coming.
Roman's probably going to show up on the show. Yeah, that's the rumors that Roman will make his return on that show and probably have something to do on the show. Yeah, we got Ray and Dragon Lee against the New Day. Yeah, they've announced a couple of things, right? Is there something else I'm missing? What am I missing?
AJ's calling out Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, AJ's calling out Logan Paul, so we'll probably get a start to that.
And and Jey Uso goes 1-on-1 with Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller.
Oh, well, there you go. But regardless, Madison Square Garden is usually a good crowd. Should be a fun show. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a couple of extra things thrown in there. Yeah, Roman showing up, I can see that. So yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And we'll hear from Cody on SmackDown, so we'll see what he has to say in his first promo after the fact. So yeah, we'll talk about it.
I can't wait to see the shiner that he has.
Yeah.
Travis Scott, go fuck yourself.
I don't think you can say that on USA.
You can say it; it would just actually get bleeped. Unlike Peacock, so. Yeah.
So I didn't. We're like, no, he didn't get. We saw it. He got you. Don't. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, we'll talk about all that next week. But JPO, between now and then, where can the people find you?
Hi, everybody. Well, I'm not on this channel on Thursdays. I do a thing called the Pierce Code. We just movie trivia. Sometimes we do drafts and countdowns, all those other shenanigans. Lots of trivia, though, because we are knee deep in the 2025 King of ASAT Trivia Tournament. It's a banger, as the cool kids say. So, yeah, keep staying tuned for that. You can find me on other places, too, sometimes. Movie Hero Network, Why We Love Horror, Cineplex. Is it TBNT? I don't know, too many channels. I forget what the fuck they're called. But yeah, follow me in all my future endeavors. Thanks, y'all.
Mm-hmm. You're fired. All right.
Oh,
future endeavors, right?
Yeah.
And Richie, where can the people find you?
You can find me on we just did Wheel of Movies with Stephen Shepard talking about Crimson Tide. Good time. You can also find me on the aforementioned ASAT tournament at some point soon. You can hopefully find me in tournament fights, depending if I have power, because there's supposed to be a cyclone coming soon, but it's taking its fucking time.
Cyclone Alfred? What kind of a name of a cyclone is that? Alfred.
Alfred. I don't know. Alfred's usually like old people. Maybe it's coming like
he's using his walker to get there, so it's taking a little longer than you thought. Yeah.
Just waiting that out, and didn't get through there, and that's pretty much what I got going on.
All right, Pez.
Yeah, no, mostly over on the Movie Hero Network, Movie Hero Network Facebook group, where you can find links to all the different stuff we got going on. I'm assuming I'll be guest hosting a ASAT tournament match at some point when JPO schedules his own match.
Yeah.
So, I don't know when that's happening.
Stan. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah, look at that. We'll do that. Do that next week. Tell him to get the fucking get his shit in order. And I'll write you an ASAT. So you'll see me doing that at some point in the next week or two, probably. But again, mostly over on the Movie Network hosting Wheel of Movies recast, Seen and Heard trivia. Tournament fights, tier ranker, all the shenanigans over there, and of course, doing our thing here, obviously. So, and hosting here whenever Jacob is doing that comedy.
Comedy. Yes. I don't have anything planned in the near future, but there could be something soon. But as far as the internet, the interwebs. I will be on Rankum this weekend talking Robert Pattinson. Sorry, what?
I was supposed to be too, hopefully. I forgot to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
You go now.
Well, I was going to say, he's made the group. I'm pretty sure you're in it. I see why you say hopefully. That should be fun. Yeah, talking Robert Pattinson. Hopefully I'm able to see Mickey 17 before that, and whether it makes the list or not. So that'll be fun. And then, Lights Out Trivia, Clash of the Combatants Sports over on twitch.tv/Castiver. It must be a slow burn because we have not scheduled the round 2 matches yet, but that's okay. Cass is a busy guy.
It was like a supersized tournament, right? Or are you talking about A-Side or the other one?
The Clash of the Combatants. No, the wrestling one that he does was big. This one, there's only 8 of us in it, so a little bit smaller. But I know he's not doing trivia as often as he used to. I mean, as far as hosting, whenever that comes back, I'll be sure to share that out. And then next week we'll be back talking some AEW Revolution. So it should be a good time. Follow these 3 and everything they do. If you're in the Washington area, come watch me do comedy sometime. If I'm not funny, other people on the show will be. So it'll be a good time either way. Movie Hero Network, Pierce Co. All those, go follow them. Give them a like, give them a share, subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe here too. If you were watching live, thank you. If you're watching on the replay, thank you. Let us know your thoughts on the Elimination Chamber. So for JPO, for Richie, for Pez. No, I can't fucking point. This is stupid. The whole mirror thing. Fuck you. We'll see you next time.
We're not live.
Go fuck yourself.